Alrighty. It's road time.
Oh, what did I say? Oh no, I submitted it. I don't remember.
Oh, I did too.
Maybe this will have my... No.
You should... No, I never got an email, did I?
Maybe I did. No.
It was just a submission. Well...
I can't remember. Fuck. I played against Eatski. And then...
Hello.
I played against...
Carmen is trying to remember his round 2 so we can give a...
Uma. Or round 4 was Uma. Round 3.
I don't know. Your round 3 was Uma.
Was that round 3?
It was round 3 was Uma, yeah.
We were 1-1.
Yeah.
1-1 going into that?
Yeah.
It was round 3.
So
what was round 2? Round 2 was...
We are trying to remember the rounds.
Round
then we will do a full... 2.
Alright, we'll wait for a bit.
Yeah, 4, I lied.
4?
It doubled as soon as I said 2.
Okay, alright.
There's 4, that's good. We're like 2 minutes live,
All right,
that's enough time.
welcome to Nationals 2023 recap and chill stream while we drive home. I guess we'll start with what we played. I played Chainsaw Man.
The audio.
Is it?
I said, Hola, I can't hear anything. Can someone confirm if you can hear me? Oh no.
Can't hear anything?
Someone, yeah, I was told I can't hear anything. Oh no. Is it back? Oh, okay, we're good. It's back.
We're good?
We're good.
Okay. So I guess we'll start with what we played. I played Chainsaw Man, Stock Soul Bar with Kishibe, and like the Power Stalker and all the good stuff. Tanner, what did you play?
I played Shot Door ZLS. Nothing crazy. One card different from pretty much everyone else's list because I like having 3 promos instead of 2. It's about it for me, difference-wise.
So yeah, I guess we can go into rounds. Round 1, I played against Eatski. Eatski Quince. I canceled twice that entire game. Notably, like, I ate so much shit and I went to like 2-0 and 3-0. So I could not play my Aki 2-1 to try to like scum heals by triggering bars to like stabilize even then. So like I literally couldn't do anything. I only canceled twice that game and I just ate shit and died. Pretty bad start to the day. Tanner, how'd your round 1?
Yeah, round 1 I played into 8 choice Heaven Burns Red. Level 1 for him started fine, then he triple triggered, and he had 5 in waiting room after he said that he did that. So I'm like, I have a 4-card deck, and I'm out. 4 events are missing from my deck, so I have 4 events, or the bottom 4 cards. So I slam a second promo, and he just eats 12 and goes straight up to 3, and the game's pretty much over there. It just took 3 turns to slowly chip him down, and I was at like 0-5 when I did that. So pretty quick game, pretty easy. Unfortunate for my opponent that situation happened, but like I didn't actually do anything. It was just like slam and go. Swinging force is really cool when your opponent's out. Round 2, I played into Licorice Recoil. They were on 8 door, and Zombieland does not like it when your opponent mills has a card that says mill a 0, burn 1. So they milled a lot of 0s, and I canceled the pings and then ate the 5s. So they're not good.
All right. My round 2, I played against Damachi. Just the like door pants build. We didn't really care about each other. My opponent ate a lot of damage. Like, they can scale the Kishibe's, but I didn't really play into the Kishibe's at all that game. I just kind of, like, played for level zeros, like, clean cut, level zero combo, and then, like, healed it out, played down triple Aki, and won the game that way of the Icy Tails, but didn't even really need the Icies, but not a very, like, remarkable game, just a matchup where neither of us really cared about each other, and Chainsaw Man is a really gross deck. That was, like, my most normal game of the day. My, like, rounds were, like, pretty ridiculous. So this was going on round 3. I played Uma Musume, played into Uma Musume. Not the typical build. This was Pants Stock Soul, or not Pants Stock Soul, Pants Choice, as opposed to Stock Soul Choice or Stock Soul Bar. My opening, I would describe my early game as very anemic. I was definitely, like, playing down on a low hand, banking on that I knew the way my opponent's deck was built could not answer even, like, double Kishibe without trading, until, like, later on, using, like, a bodyguard that he was playing. It's like a weird 2-1 that was, like, 12-5 bodyguard on opponent's turn. So I just kind of, like, set up double Kishibe after, like, a kind of a poor opener. He was able to, like, trade with one lane, crash to the other, so I, like, kept some board, was able to recoup my hand in the following turn. And then he set up his bodyguard board. I just kind of set up, like, I'm just gonna heal, I'm gonna, like, force you to, like, play a counter, like, to tie you. He ended up anti-changing me, spending resources, which meant that he couldn't do much in the following turn. Tried to, like, take a gap turn after being hit to 3, and then just didn't work out for him. And I remember, like, the first Icy Tail hit 3, and he just, like, exploded on the other turn, so it was whatever. A little bit unfortunate for him, but whatever. I was 2-1. We take this.
Yeah, my round 3 queued into the second Licorice Recoil, 2 of the 4 in the room that I saw. So this one was a little better. Last one I was, like, refreshing over deck every turn to not die because I was just, like, out every single time and I didn't have a climax in hand, so a single Brainstorm and then I was out. Brainstorm hit rip 3 more out of my deck. I have 2 in. I'm like, well, I just got to go through it or I'm dead. So ripped through that. All of my blue 1-0s that send the level 1 combos were in my clock every single turn. So I just never got to send any of them, and went in double blind Sakura, and he was at 3-2. They were just burn ones, and he canceled the swings, lived at 3, and then hit me with all right, you somehow survived this last turn. Good luck doing it again. They had 2 stock going into that, and they played free fresh counter twice, not as a free fresh, just as a counter, so that their characters are bigger than my Sakuras. And since I didn't have the stock for a 2-1, and I just died, restanding, swinging 5s and 6s, and then guaranteed burn ones on each of those. Not easy for me to live on. So unfortunately, I was dedged early and then decided to go 2-pack Weiss it up and pulled a Junko SP and said, okay, well, the weekend was worth it. And that was my entire time.
I soldiered onward into round 4. I played Alexander, the same Alexander McCabe that collects all the stats that you see at all the tournaments. It was fun to play them. They were playing Nijigasaki, 8 pants, but their build was focused on playing this Rina bodyguard and, like, recurring it a character on reverse burn 2, and then, like, bodyguarding all my characters. So I was aware of that going into the turn. I played down my Aki healer just to heal, had the Aki 2-1 set up, looking at the top of my deck. And I was like, okay, I have like 2 bars left in here. They're gonna like burn me for 2 on my like small deck. With how the game's going, I would like to be level 3. I wouldn't like to like kind of grind out the game because they were like kind of low on stock. They would have to like pay 2, then they would only have 1 stock for the next turn. So the way that I set it up was like, I was basically saying, you're gonna play the event because you want to burn me for 2 as a game plan, but that's gonna basically send me into being set up for my finisher by like pushing me towards the bars that are in my deck. Either I'm gonna cancel with the bars and stay at 2, or I'm gonna eat the 2s and then like trigger the bars on my attacks. So that worked out in my favor. I was able to get the bar for the next turn, like cancel on another one, be at like 2-5, and then they had to like take a, you know, slightly worse turn when they were like mid-level 3. I think after the attack, like smacked them up to 3-3. And then on the next turn, I just had like, I looked at my top with Aki, and I was like, okay, I can swing for 4, and then I have a stock soul on top of my deck and swing for 4 again, and just like checkmate 4-4 when they refresh like 5 or like 4 or something like that. So it was just GG from there. So that was round 4. Round 5, played against David, playing also 8-Pants Nijigasaki, which was a fun game where we were joking about how we're both trying to flip over the bottom 21 or so cards of our opponent's deck and see what happens. He was playing Kanata, playing more into the Kanata finisher than Alexander was. I ended up getting there. He ended up not. He like had a really favorable deck state, or what he thought was a very favorable deck state. What we both thought was a very favorable deck state, actually. But it turns out the bar that I triggered and then held on to for my next turn blind stocked a Stock Soul, and I had another Stock Soul buried from earlier, so he thought I had 4 in. I actually only had 2. So the one Kanata hit 2, 8-1, canceled 1. The next Kanata hits 1, so burn 3. And then he does the like burn 1, burn 3 on the other Kanata, and I like eat the 1, cancel the 3, and then I like untap just Aki and went off there. Little unfortunate. I think that if I had not blind stocked the Stock Soul, I would have probably just like ate shit there and died. And then we go to the last round. I played against Overlord. Man, I'm just gonna say it. My opponent was like piling at the beginning of the game. I hate pile shuffling. I understand why people do it. I don't care why people do it. I disagree. Pile shuffling, mathematically irrelevant, doesn't do anything. I fucking hate it. But that's neither here nor there. So he's pile shuffling, but he doesn't riffle. He doesn't do anything else. And I'm like, okay, well, I gotta shuffle this guy's deck now. I go to grab his deck when he presents to shuffle because piling is not a shuffle. And it is literally an unshuffleable. I'm talking like, these are hard Z's with inner hard sleeves. These are like, it took forever. Like, Luke is like looking around because this is the last round, being like, is everybody ready? Is everybody ready? And I'm like, no, I am still randomizing my opponent's deck. And it took 4 fucking ever. And like, I said, like, man, your sleeves these are hard to shuffle, man. And he's like, yeah, that's why I just pile. It's easier. And I was like, well, piling's not a shuffle. So I had to pile your deck. Or I have to riffle your deck. So it took forever. Riffled his deck. I was happy with it, that it was sufficiently randomized. We go out the game. It's normal. He has a pretty anemic Overlord opening, but he's able to pick up his cards, which is all Overlord needs to do. He sets up designs. I don't really play for anything with Chainsaw Man. I just play fucking level 0s, build resources, and try to stay as low on clock as possible. That's all you can really do. Just kind of not give Overlord time, just like slam, slam, slam every single turn. I go into my finisher turn. I'm unfortunately only able to double Aki despite having stock because I have an Aki buried at the bottom of my 3-5 clock, and the other Aki stuck in my deck, and I have no way to mill it out because I had to crack a Himeno just to get the first Aki and then salvage the second. So I can only double Aki. If I could triple, I could have probably gotten it. But the Icy Tails weren't with me that game. I mean, Icy Tails is fucking random. You're not going to hit them all the time. But my opponent refreshed like 4 or 5 in like the thickest fucking deck, and then took a door as refresh point. And I knew from having the 2-1 Aki set up for my finish return that I had a stock on top. My opponent was a 3-2 after the refresh. So I go, well, his deck is unbelievably thick. Like, I'm talking like 30, 37, 38 cards. He only has 4 climaxes in. If he's a 3-2, I can literally crack him for 5 for lethal right here. And, like, there's a decent chance that it sticks. Cancels on 1. Then I swing in with Aki, like, with the Icy Tail, cancels again off the top. And I was like, whatever. That's just why sometimes your opponent cancels when they shouldn't. But, like, whatever. I was at least able to, it was a lot easier to shuffle his deck when there were less cards in it. After he only refreshed once, thankfully. Yeah, don't pile. Piling's a fucking waste of time. If you want to count your deck in a single pile. There is no reason to spread your cards out multiple piles. It's a complete total waste of time. It doesn't do anything. If you think it does something, then you need to work on your randomization because it doesn't do anything. Piling's not a shuffle. That's all I got on that. So I ended 4-2. There were like 18 players at the end of that round. Unfortunately, there were 2 Chainsaw Mans. The other, even though we both lost, we were both 4-2. The other player's loss was in the second round, and my loss was in the first round. So unfortunately, I think my strength of schedule was also a little weaker. But even then, either one of us could have been a coin flip based on diversity at that point anyway. So it's like, I don't even really know if it was diversity or strength of schedule. It doesn't really matter. But I assume that because I lost round 1, even though that player also made top 16, the guy who lost to in round 1, it doesn't matter. So whatever. Similarly to English, I can't attend Worlds this year due to a trip to Singapore and Japan that is occurring 2 weeks after Worlds is supposed to happen. So doing a back-to-back trips to Asia 2 weeks apart is just not in it, even if the flight is comped. So hopefully, I don't exactly know what happened because we're driving, but Hansen was in top 8. I think Hansen
lost to the Overlord player in top 8.
Okay.
Last notice I had was top 4 was 2 SoCal players, the Sacramento player, and then that Overlord player.
Okay.
Not exactly certain on who specifically, but that was the top 4 update that I got before I lost my phone forever. Yeah. And Carmen's phone is also gone forever as he's driving and it's GPS. So that's the
tournament
update
report
there. Let's see. I know there was a few things. Lindsay said, I died from that bodyguard. Jose said he felt personally attacked when he mentioned the pile shuffling.
It's okay, Jose. It just doesn't do anything.
And was there any other comments?
Piling is just like, it's just like my pet peeve. I don't fault the Overlord guy. I mean, like, he wasn't playing suspiciously or anything like that. I was just like, okay, well, piling's not a shuffle. I have to shuffle your deck. Like, some people are just ignorant of it. It is what it is. That's why we present to our opponents for shuffle and cut, so that you can shuffle your opponent's deck when that situation occurs. Piling's just a pet peeve of mine. I think it's a total waste of time. If I created tournament regulations, I would ban pile shuffling outright. I think it's the only legal pile shuffling is a single pile where you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, count up to 50 or whatever it is. I think any piling in multiples should be illegal.
He said, I like to know if all my cards are there.
Yeah, that's why you can count them in a single pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You actually don't need multiple piles. The multiple piles is just suspicious or superstitious.
Yeah. It's normally the superstition. I know Springfest, before every round, we would 8 pile, 3 cut, then shuffle our deck 7 times so that none of that mattered, and then present. But it was just the superstition before at each round, which we did that before the opponents even got there. Then we did before we even did our actual shuffling. But besides superstition, definitely not something to do. Yeah, other than that, just whatever anyone wants to know. It is
Yeah,
just
ask away. We got 2 hours and 40 minutes left, and it's raining. It's miserable. Ask away. Could be anything. Could be about white sports. Could be about life. Could be about cooking.
Brown Weiss says pile shuffling is good at counting because I get distracted after counting to 20.
Oh, is that Brown and Weiss?
Yeah.
He commented earlier saying it's just like the one video was the meme king. No, Brown and Weiss is the meme king. I've seen his memes on Twitter. They're funny. So shout out to Brown and Weiss.
I definitely also can't count very well, so I just do like layer of 5, 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 which isn't actually moving them anywhere, but I'm just doing them in fives, like in it, like diet, like this way. I don't know.
I count my deck in fives. You'll see me do this a lot in tournament. Actually, on my opponent's turn is when I usually do it to not waste time. Is I count my own deck in fives. Typically on my opponent's turn, I'll pick it up and go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a counting method I picked up when I worked as a cashier, like in high school, where you count by like denominations of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 4, 2, 5, 4, 5, like that, like counting back up the other way. By fives is just nice with Weiss because it's like cuts it up like division numbers. You're trying to like get a idea of your deck state. Sometimes by fours. It depends like what the deck's like generally divisible by. It's better to count by, but whatever. Everybody's got their own ticks. I definitely like count my deck multiple times on my opponent's turn, like needlessly. Only really need to do it once.
Lancer Link says the one guy I know played the Overlord player game 1 and lost. Yeah, they finished Swiss X1. I don't know when they lost.
Yeah. I'm not
they won through.
Again, I'm not throwing any shade or anything like that. It was just like the pile shuffling thing's like my biggest pet peeve ever as a card game player.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what game. It doesn't matter about that. I mean, like, I get pissed if I sit down at a board game and I see someone take a deck that is supposed to shuffle and they start piling it, and I go like, just give me that, just get out of here. I just grab it off of them and I riffle and bridge it, and they say, why are you riffling and bridging my cards? And I go, because it's the only way to shuffle it. If you didn't want your cards damaged, you should have sleeved them.
Yeah, no, the friend was playing Standby Slime.
Standby Slime. Full on Standby Slime. Yeah. Still have to sit down with Standby Pants for English. Standby Pants for English seems cool. But I don't know. I don't really want to think about English Weiss until the Spring Fest season, in which case we might have another like restriction list update, and who knows how good Guilty Gear is, or Ruby Premium Booster, or God knows what else is available by then. So, not worth dedicating mental cycles, since I am not going to Worlds this year.
Yeah.
Ask us anything. Ask about life. Ask about. You can ask me personal questions. I don't give a fuck. Anything. Fucking whatever.
Brown Weiss says, I am but a peasant. Also, when is the sign-up cutoff for BCS? My local BCS is 2 weeks away.
I don't think there are sign-up cutoffs anymore. There shouldn't be. You can literally register like night before on Bushinavy. I believe so. Just be very careful. They're not the staff. Okay, so I had very different experiences. When I went to Toronto, the staff was making sure as people came in that people were checking in using Bushinavy. You have to like check in when you get there. like using GPS that like shows that you're at the venue. But at Chicago, at least when I walked in and a bunch of other people walked in, they were not doing that at all. And I know a lot of people actually missed out on entering Chicago completely because they were not telling people to check in. So make sure you check in via GPS, as well as register on Bushi Navi beforehand. Very important.
Devin said, I can only count to 8, sometimes only 7. Same.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm lucky to get that high.
You can count to 8 in a single pile as many times as you want. But the second the cards enter different piles on the table of a set amount, I'm shuffling your deck 7 times. I don't care. That's just how I am. And I don't know, you can call me a paranoid, insane person for it, but that is just who I am as a person.
Brown Wife said, I will make sure, thank you. And Lindsay said, we had a player who didn't get to play in Chicago because of the GPS thing.
Yeah. I remember that. It was like, both. I remember Lindsay telling me that. I remember Audrey's group had a bunch of people who missed out. Like, people have been playing Weiss for years. People who are veterans missed out. So it wasn't like, it was like actually confusing and not well communicated. This is obviously the first year of Bushi Navi.
Yeah. I want to be interested to see how it goes. I've not experienced it yet because...
Well, we'll have our first locals with Bushi Navi
That's true.
This week, yeah.
We have to get everybody who doesn't have an account and whatnot.
They literally just made an announcement through Bushi Navi that stores that do not have it tracked on Bushi Navi will never receive promos and will never receive shop challenges. So, gotta do it. It is what it is.
When I count my deck, I do in groups of 10. Yeah, I try to do that until my brain stops and I have to recount it like 7 times, but I eventually get there. Lancer Links. My shuffling isn't bad, but screws me anyway, so I'd rather my opponent cut and shuffle my deck. We've been on Bushi Navi for a few months now, was what Lindsay said there.
Yeah, I know that they're Paul's Gamers on super on top of it.
Yeah.
It took forever to get our one store like sorted on it. But that is finally corrected. Yeah, no, I'm part of the Azul GG school of card game etiquette. He's my I've never identified more with a single player on more topics from another game. Azul is a Pokemon TCG Pro, and I more or less agree with almost everything that man says. Oh, banger alert. Name Waylon. Needs payment. With a 2-stroke, a cup guaranteed to make you laugh.
Yeah, I know. Done. Same Bushi Navi. Yeah, we just had, our store was having trouble getting it set up and getting it rolling, but we got it done. We got it done last month, and there was like a month.
Yeah.
You have to like wait a month.
It was like,
It is weird.
I remember figuring it out. I'm like behind the counter with our, like, the employee that basically runs all our white stuff, and he's like, I don't get it. And like, I looked at it and I was like, you have to scroll down and hit the register button twice, or it just does not go through. And I was like, wow, of course. Very typical Bushiroad. Man, even driving in the rain, driving at night, I don't even mind the rain. Like, whatever. It's the mist that kicks up from the car in front of you that's like absolutely the fucking worst.
Bandai uses the same software. It's
Yeah, I was gonna say Tanner has a lot of experience.
I use Bandai TCG Player Plus quite frequently. It is miserable. It is really bad. But the good thing is once you save your store to your favorites, if it lets you and if you can figure it out, because it's not straightforward or simple or make any sense, but once you do, then
has something similar.
Then it works,
Yeah,
and it's very easy. But until you can find that, it doesn't. And sometimes the filter for favorites also doesn't work. So
Bushinami doesn't have that problem. Your favorited stores are staple to your home.
So
screen.
it depends on what the event is. If it's your monthlies, those are always good, like your normal weekly events. But like championship series, buddy battle, like all the weird formats, like always, there's always an issue like the first week. Thankfully the anniversary was pretty simple. But yeah, I hate when they're hard to search. It's really cool in Bandai, you still search by state. So where we are, like when I go to Morgantown for a couple of One Piece regional, like not regionals, but like One Piece like store championships, that is in West Virginia instead of PA. So I have to switch states to then search theirs. Really cool system. I don't know why they do it that way. Where is the Spy Family set review?
Next.
This is coming.
Yeah, it's the next set review.
Seeing the Bandai system, it's very similar. Yeah. Favoriting the shop makes it much easier. Yeah. I wish that you could easily default like by location to like favorite a store. Like it pops up stores near you right away. I know with Bandai, like the GPS, like near you doesn't really work. So it just decides you're somewhere. But yeah, Spy Family soon. Guilty Gear probably pretty soon after that, once they're done.
Guilty Gear is like the second we have the set. Yeah. It's like, I don't know. I like to do the English exclusives as live streams just to get them out there, because I know those are like, the English exclusives are like our X factor for the format. So it's like people want to hear like, and like we have no frame of reference for the cards other than like past versions of the effects, right? So everybody wants like, you know, everyone's hot take like day one. So I like to do those as live streams if we can, just because I think it's more fun. But like, I don't know. PGH classic low effort content. I think we have the lowest effort content in the game. We're Pittsburgh White Schwartz is like the lowest effort White Schwartz content going. But like, I don't know. That's how I prefer to do it. I'd rather the content be like, I don't know, the actual
content
itself.
actual
takes, like, versus like, I don't know,
the presentation.
I don't have time to sit there and like, I would love, so I think the thing that I like love Tressa's gameplays videos and like the time they put in to like show the card that's being played, like show the power changing and like all that shit. Do you have any idea how long that shit takes? Yeah. That shit takes so long to do. I personally do not have time. And I don't know, the editing part of the channel is like a one-man show most of the time. Brian helps me out sometimes, depends when I'm busy, but generally that's all me, so I don't have time. I'm a full-time software engineer. I got other shit I gotta do. I don't have time to cut up all that. And I don't know, I think the frequency thing, that's the thing that Pittsburgh has on lock, I think. Is try to keep the frequency up. I know it was spotty for a while, Tanner, before you comment. Tanner was blowing me up about it before. It's like, you haven't posted a video in a week. And I was like, I'm sick.
It was 2 weeks.
I was sick.
It was 2 weeks. I put out more content.
I was sick.
As soon as I got the keys, I put out just as many content for the month in one day than needed for a whole month.
It's
so
true. It's true.
Got to pump it out.
But yeah, I try to keep the frequency up.
Yeah, a couple compliments about the content and being informative. Yeah, I think the main purpose of the content is to inform, to kind of explain where things are going, what we think.
That's not to say other channels aren't informative.
No.
I think okay, the most informative channel in the fucking game, 36 Cancel. Holy fucking shit, his video editing is on fucking point. 36 Cancel's a fucking Weiss informational god.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, same thing with Clock Tower too. They have a whole bunch of fucking shit. Overlord won.
Yep.
We're getting reports.
Yep. So apparently Overlord ended up winning.
Overlord won.
So
good deck. The player was good. Like he was a good player. So congratulations to them. I know they were like super amped to be doing well, which is always fun. It's always cool when someone's like turbo hype. When they're like new to the topic. Super fun.
I watch your videos while getting ready for work. I don't actually have to watch them.
Yeah. That is. So I'm gonna actually turn down the music for this. I remember a while ago I got into a big argument with Dean about content, where Dean had this whole platform where he was like, Weiss content is unwatchable, like it's all too long, it's all too this, it's all too that, because Dean as a player and as a person wants a very specific style of content that no one at the time was making, which is why he was the one making it. And Dean made great videos, like the one about fucking like how to like milling, like why you shouldn't play Torch as a backup, like all those videos are great, except like no one was making that kind of content. But like the thing is, not all content creators should be making one style of content or one thing like that. From the very fucking beginning, I remember worrying, like, these set reviews are too long. Who is, like these are really long. They go on for a long time. It's almost like a podcast. Like, they don't even really, like, watch the video. They more listen to the video. And I was like, okay. Well, then YouTube analytics, I remember going in and looking, and I was like, yeah, most people are listening. Our watch time is always very long. Like, our overall hours is always very long. So I was like, okay, this is something people want, so let's just keep fucking making it. And I haven't worried about it since, because that's what most people tell me is like, oh, I listened to this or something like that. People barely like sit down and watch. Like, maybe they watch the deck tech, but it's like second monitor content, listening while like cooking or doing chores content, like specifically set reviews and stuff like that. Driving, commuting, like, and I think that's the niche, and we just keep after it. That's what people want. So, and I think it's valuable. I mean, I am like literally, that's all I fucking do, man. When it comes to content, I just put shit on, like listen to stuff. That's what I loved about fucking Top Tier Tiers, and that's why I wanted to do the set reviews for English, because nobody was doing set reviews for English, even when Top Tier Tiers was still doing stuff. They were doing stuff for Japanese, and I mean, Alf and Tom still get on and do Top Tier Tiers occasionally, podcasts, stuff like that. And I listen to every single fucking one. Same thing with Wild Wild Weiss. They have their podcast where they do interviews with players. I love fucking listening to those. That's just the kind of like content, especially for card games, because card games is such a mental thing. You can kind of like, you can like be in it and be thinking about it and like kind of like get reps and like cycles in the game, but you don't have to be playing, because it's a mental game. And I think the content being listenable and stuff like that, but that's not all the content people are looking for. It's just like I said, 3-6 Cancel, visual, like fucking slam dunk, informational king. Clock Tower also has like, they have like very detailed slides that go along with their stuff, and they edit their audio down a lot more. Like if you like when you watch Clock Tower video, there are no ums and ahs and stuff like that there. Like for Pittsburgh White Schwartz, I run shit through a jump cutter for deck techs and stuff like that. I have an auto jump cutter program that I run stuff through that like cuts out like pauses and stuff just to like keep the deck text like sub 30 minutes. But I don't like go through and like cut out ums and ahs and stuff anymore. The only time we've ever done that was for rush rundowns, which is something that like I kind of want to do the rush rundowns again. The problem is Brian kind of stepped away from content. Andy isn't fucking playing that much Vice anymore, and I personally can't do like, because rush rundowns are fucking scripted. I can't script a bunch of rush rundowns. I can't edit a bunch of rush downs. I can't like compress a bunch of rush rundowns in 5 minutes or less, or 10 minutes or less, or whatever we did for rush rundowns. They're very, very intensive, and getting back to that when it's just me is like close to fucking impossible.
It's great to hear players' viewpoints on particular game states and determine how they react to it and perform. Yeah, I think gameplay analysis is something that's really helpful to see different mindsets and like how they view those situations. I think is beneficial, especially with like when getting into a game and trying to like make that jump to more competitive. I think that's a way to really see it.
That's something I want to do. It's actually so hard. It's so hard to give really good gameplay analysis after the fact with Weiss. Weiss is such an in the moment, like visceral. What am I looking for? Contextual game that if even like 30 minutes after a game, yes, I can tell you exactly what happened, and yes, I'm thinking about it, but I can't describe my exact thought process as well as when I am in the sauce, when I am right there. And that's why it's really hard, because how do I have a real game with my opponent where I'm speaking through my entire thought process of a turn after the fact? It's like really, really, really fucking hard. Something I wish we had, and we're so close to actually having it, if the fucking simulator could get fucking simple ass matchmaking. I'm talking like literally hit a button and cue me into a random person.
Yeah.
I could literally make that content, because all I need is an opponent who is actually trying to win in a non-staged environment where I am also trying to win and playing the game. Then I can completely talk through my entire thought process and show everything on a screen. But because you have to be directly connected to somebody, and like you don't have like a anonymous matchmaking system, I don't feel comfortable like going, even if it's someone like that and we're not on comms, I still don't feel comfortable making that kind of content unless it was like a truly like not anonymized, but like a matchmaking queue.
Yeah.
Like, or something like Master or something like Hearthstone. Like, you know, it's just a username.
The One Piece sim where you just pirate random numbers. Yeah. Let's see. Overlord 1 WGP. That's the report we got.
Yeah.
They believe the Overlord player won. I know Overlord was at least finals, definitely got the invite. Nats had 2 invites this year for first and second.
Yeah.
So big congrats to them. Set reviews are great. I love listening to them and watching them over and over. I do think it's really convenient. I like now with the streamlined version, you don't have the vanillas kind of interrupting it. There's random
more
cards.
Actual discussion.
It adds a lot of context to each card.
Man, I was so worried about that change, about getting backlash for doing such minimal curation. And I remember I'll never forget the one comment, dude. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Where this one person was like, and like I get where they're coming from, but they were like, I just can't handle this. You like skip 3 cards, and like I will never mentally recover from this. And I was like, man, now I feel so bad, but like I legitimately, like literally, I remember sitting there looking at the card list for Azure Lane and being like, I could not pay someone to sit through a 240 card Azure Lane set review. Like literally, I could not. It was like the content was not going to happen. in its current state. It had to get changed.
Yeah, big sets like that are not great. It was, I mean, I don't do a ton of set reviews. I've only done giant set reviews for the most part.
Yeah,
Hololive, did the Vivi custom set. I guess Seven Deadly Sins wasn't too big. And Hololive Premium was very quick, but that's because most of it was just tech. But the vanilla might do something. Okay, if the vanilla does something like the Mike Wazowski TD vanilla in Pixar, that vanilla slaps. Because that vanilla is so, it's if for every Pookie Bear on the field, your Smoochie Poo gets Azusa. So if you have 4 Celias,
it turns
your vanilla is a quadruple Azusa, and it's awesome. That's all it does. It's really bad other than that. But things like that would be like something that would probably be at least notable-ish, depending on it. Like the Bonder and Uma that bonds to a vanilla.
Even then, like I'm
like,
so
you can
liberal.
just mention
I cut so few cards. Like there is Weiss is just this game where like yes, card games need bad cards, but like Weiss, like there is literal like unplayable fucking garbage. Like I swear to God, these 2-1 fucking 10K. Holy shit, there is no visibility at all. I gotta turn off the
No, you're good.
cruise control. Go a little slower here. It's not raining in Pittsburgh. It rains to stop eventually.
Yeah.
Can't just be. It was miserable in Rochester.
Oh, it was really bad.
Patrick warned us that it was going to be bad, but I did not believe how miserable it was. It did not stop raining for like a singular second. The only time it wasn't raining this whole weekend is when we walked to the car from Wendy's when we were leaving. That was the only time it wasn't raining.
Yeah. Yeah, it was awful out. Got the husband driving, that's what Lindsay said. Yeah. Same.
Yeah, right here.
But, yeah. It is not fun, but thankfully there's not many cars on the road either. So, don't have to worry about a bunch of semis slamming on their brakes.
Yeah, thankfully haven't had any issues with trucks. Well, no, we had those 2 fucking lay on the
right on the bat, yeah.
Right on the junction to I-90. I don't know what the hell was going on there. But yeah, I don't know. Pittsburgh White Sports. I don't know. I've seen people call it low effort or whatever, and I just say I don't fucking care. Our entire goal with making content is we like doing it. It's fun, and we just want to make stuff we want to make. That's always been it. Like I don't have frequency is nice because frequency in the White Sports content space was not a thing for many channels. It's not a very frequent content thing. It's like yes, the overall content generation is frequent amongst all content creators, but not many White Sports content creators were relatively frequent. So I was like, okay, we'll cut the editing a little bit to remain highly frequent. But like I don't know, I can't compete with Trez's Collectibles in terms of like raw editing and upload speed. They got someone working like full time on that shit. Because I know that shit takes so fucking long. Even when you have templates and shit like that, that shit takes for fucking ever. So kudos to them, but I cannot. I would really love if the simulator got some kind of random matchmaking. I would put out so much like gameplay analysis content. Like the same way other fucking card game streamers like do. So like, okay, we're gonna play Master Duel. Like they talk through their plays. So like that, I would totally fucking do that for people. It would be a great resource.
Yeah. And especially
because I think it's so hard to teach what like the nitty gritty stuff in Weiss, and it's so hard to convey that because we don't have a like I'm in the sauce and I'm telling it to you.
Yeah.
Because you can't have a real game against someone sitting across from you where you speak through everything. They kind of get away with it on Treasures Collectibles because they have the hidden hand where the camera sees the hand because they have it on like a separate plane, like a raised table. They kind of get it, but they still don't completely talk through why they are exactly doing something because they're still trying to win. All right, we're
Pennsylvania,
back
woo!
Because they're still trying to like win, and not say everything. But if I had like a Hearthstone style kind of client where me and my opponent are both trying to win, but it's obfuscated through like a digital medium, I could like truly go through everything I was doing and explain it and like, still have like full integrity on both sides. But like, I don't know. I don't want to get too into the sim stuff. I don't currently like how the sim development is handled, but it is not worth discussing with the team that develops the simulator. They are focused on things that I do not think are correct, and I personally don't have the time to fork it and make the changes myself. I've done some changes and working in it, but it's not. I get the TLDR on it is that the sim has a really cool system that was designed that is very good, where it is a completely user extensible, user submittable system where users can truly collaborate on the simulator to make new sets quickly and accurately and fix bugs with cards, so that new sets and things can be cranked out into the simulator as quickly as possible. And instead of offloading that to the community for like, to make that like really leverage that user extensible system, they are very overtly concerned on things like wording and like locking down card development when the system that was created was specifically created for card development to be open. Instead of like extending and creating new features for the actual simulator, they're very concerned on like locking down and controlling card card effects, card wording. It's all very strange to me, but I also have a sickness where I look at everything as a like very all programming related projects as a very cutthroat software engineer, where I want to like make cuts and optimize where things are necessary, and it is just a hobbyist project. But that's just my opinion on the simulator. It's why I haven't talked about it stuff for a long time. It's like not I don't know. There are things that it could use, but instead the effort is put elsewhere for some reason, and I am not quite sure why.
Yeah, I would.
But that's not to disparage anybody that works on it, like Hasse and all the other developers. They do incredible work to get that stuff out there. But like there are philosophical differences that I have with how development has gone with that, and it could be much greater if they allowed people to help. But they don't want to let people help. They want to control it a little too much.
I wish there was updated deck text for new metas when a ban list comes out, how the affects each meta deck. Like there's general discussion, but not new actual lists. Like Adachi is bad now, clean cut should be good in this meta, etc.
Okay, yeah. I thought about doing something like that with a current ban list. But the thing with Weiss, man, is like, Weiss is so... how do I put this? The Weiss ban list is so nuclear a lot of the time. Like, kind of get boiled down to just like, a couple people did videos, like, like Darcy always does them, like other content creators will do like an overview of like, this is what I think of the ban list, blah blah blah. I think things get regulated to that and they don't get very specific because the bans are super nuclear. Because like limiting Alice to 2, fuck Alice, literally take every deck that wanted to play that 2-1, even decks that were aiming to only play Alice as a level 2, like how Slime played Muron, literally take your fucking Alice deck, literally fucking throw it out, literally fucking burn it. Burn your deck list, delete your Encore Dex links. Who fucking cares? Mm-hmm. They literally, nuclear option, delete Alice. So it's like, yeah, we could talk about it. We could talk about how you could build an Alice deck with just 2 2-1s. And that, like, you know, it would still be okay. Or you could just go play one of the decks that didn't get hit that hard. You know, that does a similar thing. You could just go play no level 1 combo Slime. Or Standby Pan Slime. Or some other combo Slime. You know. A deck that didn't get hit as hard. But I do think you're right. I think there's opportunity to talk about trickle down in terms of, like, okay, so like Slime gets hit, right? Slime gets hit. It's level 1 changes. Because it's level 1 changes, even if you play no level 1 combo, which is the least, like, intrusive change to the deck, right? You take the least intrusive change to the deck. The least intrusive change to the deck means you probably want to play Mask, and you lost a ton of mill. So you're level 0, instead of having, like, the best part of Slime for me was, I remember you get to play like 9 fucking go first cards, like in the one in my version of the deck that was playing like 4 Hawkro, 4 Shuna, and the Veldora oversized. You get to go 9 cards that you're comfortable dropping first. Well, you can't fucking play a 0 line like that anymore. The trickle down of changing the level 1 means it's just like, oh, now I need cards dedicated to deck speed. I need to play 2 Fuka Zeros now, minimum, so I can't play this card and I can't play that. And because I can't play that, that means I don't have an evasive card anymore. So because this meta deck doesn't have an evasive card that it plays anymore, now Clean Cut is better because there's a targets for Clean Cut. It does this. Like, I think, that's like, there's definitely content there. But I just don't know if it's something that just, like, I could pull out of my ass. Like, or not pull out of my ass, but something that I would be confident enough.
It would have to be a deck.
Out of nowhere. It's so hard to say at the outset because you don't know how something's going to change. Like, even JP doesn't have Slime restricted yet. So, like, what is the next Slime deck going to be? Are they going to play a different combo? Are they going to play Standby into Pants because of the tools that didn't get, like, literally completely unexplored space, where there's a lot of not incorrect, halfway correct answers until something gets solidified. It's hard to say really what the trickle down is, because someone could, if the list is Standby or something like that, it's just like, okay, well, that card mills 2 and our deck speed patch is playing the Shion Amagi. So the Shion Amagi is a little bit different in terms of repeatable deck speed than the Fuka Zero. The Fuka Zero is just like a card you play and then it dies. The Shion is coming back to your hand every turn, and every single time you play a climax, you can bounce that card back and continue to do deck speed. So it's like, it really changes the dynamic. It's really hard to say. But I think more often than not, because the ban list is so nuclear all the time, nobody really wants to talk about how can we fix this deck, because a lot of the time the hit isn't like Slime. When we have hits like Slime, which are rare, we can actually talk about how we can change things. If we have hits like Alice, it's just like, throw your fucking deck out, who gives a shit? Like, you know, different kinds of bans.
Back to the playing somebody, they said have your opponent have noise canceling headphones, speak your mind, and they play on mute. I guess also could be like on a Discord call, and like,
yeah,
have it muted for them, unless you're using an effect. You say you're using the effect, mute again, then continue explaining. There are ways.
It still requires a lot of staging. Yeah. It's not as convenient as I hit the matchmake button, I am queued against a person.
Yeah.
Like, if I want to talk about, like, I don't know, dude, I want fucking Slippy for Weiss is what I want.
Yeah.
I want to press a button and receive Falco. That's what I want. I want to press a button and receive a Falcon. Like,
we got. What do you think Ian Weiss would need really needs right now?
what Ian Weiss really needs right now. Needs. What's Ian Weiss need right now? Ian Weiss needs. More people to play Gura correctly so the card goes away.
Nope. No, it doesn't. We need that card forever. No one.
Gura, dude.
Ian Weiss.
Gura is so problematic. I hate Gura.
It is, and that's why it's fun.
That card being able to be fielded in triplicate is a design mistake. That card should not be able to be fielded in triplicate.
It doesn't win. It doesn't deserve it.
Yeah, it doesn't win because people can't play the fucking deck.
Yeah.
I
wanted to say that.
Literally no fucking like. I don't care if people think I'm like dismissive or whatever for saying this. I have never seen people misplay a deck more than I have seen NA players misplay fucking Gura. Literally, I've never seen more misplays out of people with a deck that is literally so brain dead, dog shit easy to play than fucking Gura by NA players. I cannot believe it. I remember hearing things from top players being like top players that I know and respect being like, I don't respect Gura because every time I ever play against it, they only ever get a single Gura off on me and the deck fucking sucks. And yes, there are holes in the Gura deck that good players can exploit. Because if Gura gets like rushed early and they don't get a lot of time, they get in those situations where they have to go that didn't happen and they just have to ignore it and try to fucking table flip you and kill you. However, that does not excuse the amount of people I observed playing Gura at only 2 regionals, Toronto and Chicago, were the only English regionals I was able to attend. That does not excuse the amount of people that I saw playing Gura who seemingly were completely incapable of thinking about their resource thresholds 2 turns ahead. I don't know what it is, but I literally see Gura players like mashing fucking double brainstorm and back row when like they should. I don't know what it is. Like, do any players not believe in how broken like Gura is? If you triple Gura, you have a raw 25% chance to do 14 fucking damage, and the chance to stick that 14 damage goes up exponentially if your opponent cancels a single swing for 4, because you always trigger and swing for 4. On 1 or 2, it literally jumps up to like fucking 40. Like, the numbers are so fucking disgusting. Like, don't fucking mash brainstorm because you think you don't have enough cards or you think your deck state is bad. You should have just fucking sat there and did nothing and then played the triple Gura the next turn. But for some reason, people don't turns ahead, which is all you have to do to play Gura. That's like literally it. You really resolve a single Ame and count your resources 2 turns forward, and you'll literally fucking triple Gura most games. And I can't even argue with those other players that say Gura's not threatening, Gura's not a threat. Every Gura I've ever played against only fucking single Gura's me, because like I just play into it like I play against every other hyper finisher deck and don't give them time to set up. Yep. Well, like, yeah, of course I can't even fucking argue with you because that's all the same shit that I've seen. Riaz asking me, what am I doing? And I'm gonna say,
just say reply.
Reply?
You missed it.
I can't reply.
Oh yeah, you can. It was reply.
Driving back from Rochester.
Oh.
Driving back from Rochester.
I got driving back from Rochester.
There you go.
Ready to
Send
send it?
it.
Okay. We got.
I had to reply to Riaz. I don't know how Riaz did in Georgia. I do not have time. Unfortunate.
Okay. Let's see. Ian Weiss needs unbans. Yeah. Some.
Unbans?
Kaguya doesn't need banned.
Yeah, Kaguya could have been let off forever ago. Can you just go in and at Riaz and tell him that we're streaming like this?
Okay, yeah, 1 second.
I
They misplay because it's so boring. They make mistakes.
Yeah, I can. I can buy that.
Yeah. if Brain Dead is what Ian Weiss needs, we need Zombieland Saga. I love the deck. I play it a lot. I don't think Ian needs more Brain Dead decks, but I wouldn't complain if I could play that because I just ignore my opponent 24/7 and just do my thing. I feel like that is playing Weiss Solitaire is all you do with that deck. You very rarely do anything. You just hope your opponent doesn't know that if you just don't side or if you don't slam for a turn, a lot of the times it just wins you the game at certain times. I sold my Gura deck because it was just too boring to play. I want to use my brain to play. Yeah, I can see that. Give me 1 second.
I can't reply.
Okay.
What's the message?
No, Tanner and I are streaming a tournament report right now.
I got no chance, and I was streaming the tournament.
There we go.
Yeah, so that's
Okay, I was going to, but I know it'll lose the stream. We're up to 13 people. A lot of people have been watching.
Yeah,
so
we're just chilling.
we gotta keep chilling. I've beaten Gura deck playing 8 2-soul bow free at regionals before.
Yeah, I mean, again, rushing Gura is good. But single Weiss is not a game where single results typically are very relevant. But yes,
I do
think decks like ARI.
That's what I was about to say.
I think decks like ARI and Azure Lane playing the Cats package fucking decimate most Gura lists because you don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, so
because you pressure them, you just don't give them time to build resources.
Yeah, it makes me interested to see how this next format will go with those decks being there.
Okay, it looks like Riaz went 6-2. Very good showing on ARI. Riaz and I are both Ari Ferretta turbo stands. Must be forgetting about anti-damage and
TRV.
TRV has anti-damage? Oh, the fucking reflect counter. Okay.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, the fact that it created a pause and then an O.
Okay, Riaz says he's cracked ARI to the next level. So I trust him, but I can't find out until probably deck stomp 7 out of 8 games very easily. Yeah, I figured. I don't think Patrick and I were talking about this weekend as well. I don't think players are ready for how to play against a deck like that, decks like that, at Cats, Azure Lane Cats and Ari Ferretta that actually can slam the ever living shit out of you, from turn 0. But would have gotten into top 8 if I did not mess up. Okay, so Riaz says he did very well at Georgia. Riaz and I have been workshopping Ari Ferretta for him specifically to take to Georgia, so I'm gonna have to talk to him tomorrow morning or at some point.
Yeah.
About that.
Do you think why do you think Gura is so strong? Gura specifically easy to play because Holof is a set. Could Desh got a lot of new people into the game? Sorry for the long question.
I don't apologize for the long question.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead, Tanner.
I was just gonna say, I think it's more so the fact that the deck, it can easily get 3 of the most absurd finishers while constantly pushing damage throughout the entire game because you're on so many soul triggers. It just lets you reliably just send your opponent up, and if they send you to 3 first, normally, and they can't finisher you, or they don't have a finisher with a lot of reach, it's just, I feel like there's not much they can do, because if you triple, it's over. The deck has absurd numbers when it comes to pushing damage. It's 20% to do 14 damage raw.
Triple
before
has 25% chance flat to do 14 damage.
So
which is absurd. If you just think about that triple Gura has a chance to do 2 entire levels of damage. A 1/4 chance. If you think of all the time you've played in White Schwartz, how many times have you said, I'm playing to my outs, and you take a 20% chance to stick a 4 to do something? Imagine being able to do that from 2-0, to make that call. and have it not be a complete and total hit. Like,
Yeah. And
the potential of the card is too high.
and God forbid they cancel a ping one.
I'm not even
It's
talking
like,
about Oski Gura anymore.
No,
man.
just Gura, period.
I think you can just do. I'm talking about any Gura deck. You can play Kali Gura. You can play Oski Gura. You can play Oski Kali Gura, which is catching on in Japan. Specifically, I mean, Patrick played that this weekend.
Yeah.
That shit's fucking disgusting. We were playing friendly games. I was on ARI. He's on that deck, and I remember being like, "Well, Patrick only has 3 stock. However, I at like 3-0 am fucking dead because he could just trigger a standby and put the Aqua in the center lane and Aqua for fucking nothing. I can't live single Gura Aqua like."
Yeah.
And that was me playing ARI, shoving the shit out of him every single round, like every single turn. So I had to like clock myself up from 2-5 and try to kill him, like, because I knew I couldn't have another turn. Like Gura as a single card outputs too much fucking damage. It's a fucking mistake because they pushed Soul Triggers onto a bunch of cards, and like I get it, the Soul Trigger thing is exaggerated. I am guilty of exaggerating the Soul Trigger thing. It's not as big of a problem as we all meme about. However, in Hololive specifically, there are cards that have Soul Triggers that never should. I think the Ina is fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, a card like that should not have a Soul Trigger.
Cards like the Bochi Brainstormer. Like, random...
Well, okay, in Bochi specifically, it's fine.
It's fine. Right,
sucks.
sure. But I'm talking
like,
the card in a vacuum, right? My only Hololive deck
God,
is...
wait, is this not it? No.
No, it's a half mile. Yeah, it's the next one.
This one gets me every single
In half a
time.
mile,
It's a trick.
take exit 20.
My only Hololive deck is Standby Choice using Miko level 1, Korone level 1 and 3. The whole deck is nothing but Korone and Miko, aka the meme team. Hololive is really fun that you have the ability to literally play whatever you want because the fact that you have a billion cards was in gens 0 through 5. So I do enjoy the fact that once I get hopefully a Miko finisher, I can deck of nothing but Miko. That's what I'm dreaming for.
I don't mind Hololive being like an overbearing pressure, like presence in White Schwartz, simply because I know it gets people to play and people really do enjoy like Hololive VTubers, myself included. So I don't mind it. Like, I know Andy, like if you are familiar with some of our content on the channel, Andy like fucking hates Hololive. He thinks Hololive's the fucking like the Antichrist of White Schwartz. But then again, Andy also doesn't fucking come to locals anymore and doesn't actually have a, incredible frame of reference for how the game is. Obviously, he's still a good player and he keeps up with things to an extent, but it's not as bad as Andy thinks it is. However, I don't mind it being overbearing, but it does get to a point where, like, you can literally do anything in Hololive. I remember when I started playing Weiss, we used to say that you can do anything in Big Dream. It's just like half as good as something else, but Hololive can literally play a facsimile of any deck, and it's completely fucking fine. And you could expect to do okay as a good player with your Hololive facsimile of God knows what deck. Like, your Hololive version of fucking 8 standby Mushoku, like not even the quote-unquote meta 8 standby Hololive deck. Build your Gen 5 focus like Brian's been building.
Brian just played that last
it's
week,
like a completely fucking functional deck with cards that no one fucking plays that are completely, playable cards.
Yeah. Set's just wide enough that it lets you play a very competent deck because you have competent like level 1 combos, a billion finishers on every trigger you can imagine. It just gives you a lot of options, which is nice. I definitely think there are scarier things that exist, and I don't think the set is that, besides Gura itself, as of 4 of. Limit 2 Gura, I mean, with how NA is playing it, and with it not seeing the results currently.
NA Gura shouldn't be banned based on rep.
Yeah, it's
because
just
it's not seeing play. Like, and it's not seeing success because people hate it. I think I don't know. My personal theory is that people who really enjoy playing the game of Weiss Schwarz, and to play this game competitively, you really do have to enjoy the game part. You can't just love the anime part and meme about the game being bad or whatever the whole time. You have to eventually, at some point, like, come to terms with yourself that you enjoy the mechanics of the game to a certain extent. People who enjoy the mechanics of Weiss Schwarz absolutely love Gura, because Gura is not playing a lot of the mechanics of Weiss Schwarz. You are doing a lot of nothing and not playing, and a lot waiting. And those are things that people who enjoy the mechanics of Weiss Schwarz do not like doing. And I do not think it's a stretch to say, or dismissive or mean to say, that people who enjoy the mechanics of Weiss Schwarz are typically better Weiss Schwarz players. So by extension, we can say better than average Weiss Schwarz players do not like playing Gura. So better Weiss Schwarz players don't play Gura. So Gura has no results. So Gura continues to run around.
Yeah.
So that is how we'll get to it as nicely as possible. I'm putting on my fucking high beams.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing here.
Automatic high beams.
Exactly. I love the game. I always have fun smiling even when losing. I try to smile when losing. I do. I did today. I had fun today. There's times where just getting turbo sacked after so long just feels so bad. But it's never at the opponent. It's always at the way damage falls.
I only get like super frustrated with the game when it's every single game. Like, you have those days where it's like you play 4 games and every single one is dog shit. If you have your like one dog shit game where you eat shit, like my game one today, I fucking ate shit. It was terrible, and I'm literally just like, my opponent's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man, it just didn't go your way." And I was like, "Hey, man, if I can't eat those, I can't be, you know, I can't say I play this game, dude. You got to fucking hold those and move on to the next one.
Yeah,
you got to keep your head up and keep a good head on your shoulders and keep going, or you won't last a single fucking second." I think Weiss is a game like churns and spits out people. If you're trying to take the game more seriously, this game will like fucking humble the ever-living fuck out of you. I cannot imagine people having a goddamn ego in this game. Like, you can lose to anybody at any goddamn time. So when things are going bad, you fucking smile, make the best of it, and you just know that you can get there the next game. It's just like, things ain't always going to go your way every single time. It's foolish to think so. Especially in a game like Weiss, where the variance is very front forward, and we play a game and we play in a best of one format. It's like, the game's gonna fucking chew you up, spit you out. It's just how it goes.
Larger issue with Hololive is they have every possible card you could want, except for an Oswald. They don't have an Oswald. An in-deck Climax swap. Have to add that in there because I want it to be in the new TD. If Gura could get banned, it wouldn't be a factor because the set just has a collection of good stuff that will continue to get support. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's the fact.
That's always the thing with Hololive, is how do you restrict Hololive, because the set will just get support forever in like new set releases. I do actually think that it is really stupid that Hololive saw success after success after success after success after success in terms of tournament results. And you could go on Weiss Tea Time, you could go on Avis's website, and you could look throughout the entirety of Springfest and throughout the entirety of fucking singles and see that nearly every deck had a combination of anti-change counter and tap counter.
Yeah.
And despite all those results and all those successes, they could not even get the light ass tap of 2 choose 1 Suisse anti-change tap.
Yeah.
I think that was all Hololive ever should have been hit with, but the fact that it dodged over and over and over and over and over again, despite its rep, is an actual failure on part of Bushi C, saying that they care about the English environment. If you are going to ban based on rep and ban based on results, you should have given Hololive a reasonable, very light tap to reflect its results. Because all you can say is, oh, every Hololive deck is different. This one's Sora, this one's Kanata, this one's this one's Memory, this one's that. They all play those 2 fucking cards. They all play them. You could have easily just choose one, anti-change tap, and say, look, we hit Hololive because they have incredible rep and incredible conversion. Done. The fact that they dodge for forever is fucking laughable, and all it makes them look like is that they don't want to ban their cash cow, which is a terrible fucking optic for your game. That is fucking terrible. That's the worst optic you can have, as if you want to have say you have a competitive game, or you say you have competitive integrity. The worst optic you can have is that you are making meta-based decisions for your community based on financial gain, which is exactly what that reads at. That is what the optic is. That is what it looks like. And to a certain point, what it looks like is actually all that matters.
Yeah.
So,
we got a "What's up, guys" from Brian.
what's up, Brian?
And we got, as it stands, I've gotten more wins with 8-bar Judy-Ember Island players than I've had with 12 standby since Avatar-wise.
Oh, Avatar?
Yeah.
Atla is literally just baby Gura. It's discount Gura, but it's more interesting to pilot and more difficult to pilot because your cards are worse and you have worse tools. And players, even at high levels, conflate that with being better or being more skillful or something like that. I don't know. It's stupid. But you can quote me on that. You can call me stupid for that or whatever the fuck you want to call me. But Atla is literally just boneless Gura. And the people that think it's better just enjoy playing it more and are deflecting the things that make it worse because they enjoy playing it more and can't see past the fact that the Gura deck is the same thing but better. Because Atla is literally just the Sokka standby finishing bags. All of those. The rest of the set's dog shit. Real talk hours. No filter hours. Fuck Atla. I wish Atla was good. Atla should have been good. Fucking Avatar: The Last Airbender is a sick fucking IP, and they fucking bungled the bag. At least Guilty Gear looked cracked.
Ram's gonna be the new card.
Ram. Toes out for Rue.
We love Ram. Good character.
Top tier in every game. It'll be really funny if Ram ends up being the meta deck. Top tier in every game. You can never escape Ram's giant swords. It's like the Sage Jam Will It Kill for Ram, where it's like, and you would have been right, and he cuts it off. So it didn't kill. If Ram couldn't do this, she like fucking OTGs from half the screen away. And you're like, yep, that's Ram with Love Valentine. What a cool character. I can't fucking complain. I play Alpha in Exer. So, I have my fair of unfair strawberry shotgun. Holy shit.
Oh, man.
Ability got really bad again.
There's a card. You got an hour and a half, give or take,
Hour
left.
and a half.
Cruising along.
Thanks for chilling with us, everybody.
Yeah.
Still got a lot of viewers.
Yeah, we got 11 right now.
Damn.
Been averaging around 10 or 11. So a lot of people want to just chill and talk.
Yep.
I'm excited for Kai. Kai's cool. I like
Yeah,
Kai.
Kai looks cool.
I'm very...
I love the art. All the Hungry Quick cards.
I'm very excited to see what it does. I'm hoping that it gets enough legs.
I think it will. We've seen too many good interesting cards already, I think. Like, hopefully it all comes together. But even when a set completely doesn't come together, it's still good. Like, I think Adventure Time is like the poster child for that. It's like, Adventure Time is actually missing so many glue cards, but like its individually strong and unique cards are actually so good that the deck still has legs. It just isn't as consistent.
It would be, I think, if they did like power-up sets, similar to how they already did, and they gave them to older English exclusives that they don't plan on giving set 2s.
Maybe premium boosters.
Or premiums,
Ruby premium booster, that's like completely untreaded territory. I'm really excited to see what they do with Ruby Premium Booster.
I just don't like premium boosters because I don't like having to buy them.
I mean, premium boosters have extremely cringe pull rates.
Yeah.
Like, I was rudely reminded of that this weekend. I picked up some Shauna boxes to gamble because I love Shauna from Hammer Girl, and they're like, it's like these things are like $40 a box,
Six
packs, and they're 3 cards per pack. And you're like, wow, I want to fucking put a gun in my mouth and pull a trigger.
Yeah.
It's fucking terrible opening those. What a terrible experience.
Yeah. I've been playing Proxy Guilty Gear with the stuff they've revealed so far. Standby Bar. It can chump Palace by having 4 16k Potemkins. I've not played any of it yet, just been enjoying the set. I'm pumped. Looks like a lot of different effects, or at least interesting effects. Looks super fun. Separate thing. Log Horizon Set 2 Can Only Dream. Yeah, that's like another one of those examples where it's like sets that are old that just give them a little bit. Just give everyone a little bit of spice.
Reprint the original
And
set.
with reprints, yes.
Yeah.
Reprints would be huge.
That is
because
literally
it's
like the biggest. I cannot believe they fucking pulled that grift on English players. Like, yes, I am very happy that English players that have those old cards finally got them in English. However, if you were a mega fan of said set, you probably had them in JP and had your mixed language deck anyway for locals. Like, so you can spend, what was the MSRP in those things?
Like
I don't know. I
50
bought
-ish.
them. They're like $50.
Yeah, something like that.
Even come with sleeves that like stamped top loader instead.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool for Haruhi. You get to
Get
play
swing.
information binding because it's banned in Japanese. You actually get to do something interesting.
Guilty Gear looks super fun. Do you think the Quince and Bunny Girl premium boosters will come to English? Quince 100% will. Bunny,
That Quince Tilde.
the newest, the one that they just announced.
Yeah, isn't it
Yeah,
like Tilde?
the movie one.
something? No, it's not.
Or
a
no,
movie.
movie was already out. It's the
This is like
the
some-
light novel game, whatever the heck it is. I don't know. I'm not the
They
Quince
just make
expert.
up
Tyler's
their
not in here.
Quince shit, dude. I remember Tyler's like, oh, it's so hype. Purdue Quince. I was like, they just pulled Quince stuff out of thin air.
Yeah, it just appears. I don't know what I'm complaining about. Hololive does the same thing.
Yeah.
We just got Hollow Meat TDs coming out now, of course. So. My bad. Okay. Let's see. I want to see a Tyrion finisher in Ruby that is destructive to the opponent along with yourself. I want Kill la Kill so bad, but I will never get it because I'm new. It's the OVA. It's a Quince OVA.
I remember Brian told me something like, we were talking about Kill la Kill, and Brian is like, did you know the Ryuko finisher is like $50 a copy in English? And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, it's completely fucking unattainable cards.
Yeah.
Which is also bad optics for your game, by the way, to have a product that you release to show people that your game has such and such IP, and then they buy a product, and I literally don't think that there is like an even halfway functional deck that you can build out of just any
Absolutely
of those
not.
boxes.
No.
The Haruhi, or Log Horizon boxes. I don't even think you can build something that is like a full deck. I don't even think there are 8 climaxes you can play.
Yeah.
Like in some of them. Like, that's not good look. That's not a good look.
No. Let's see what else. Yeah, I want to pump up my Log Horizon deck, but I can't buy it cheap in the end. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately those things are like, just get it in JP. I promise playing JP cards is easy. You don't actually have to read your card.
Yeah.
Nobody reads their cards. You just remember what they do.
It gets easier and easier the more you play the deck.
Yeah.
It's like when I played just free playing while waiting on Carmen to finish up the last little bit. I played 8 Standby Pro Sky, which I haven't played in a while. Even though I love the deck, it's just like I haven't played it, been doing other things, and I'm like, I completely forgot what this card does. I remember it's an EP. I don't remember if this is the one that heals or check X's, and I could have read that because I can see if there's an X or a 1 on it, but like little things like that. But like after like one round, I'm like, oh, okay, I remember my cards do. It just takes a second, and they kind of start flowing more and more the more you play it. I'm surprised they didn't at least reprint trial decks with the power-up sets, or just threw the trial decks into the power-up set. I think the MSRP already was high. I feel like if you added TDs and bumped it up another $15-20, it would be really hard to like convince a player to get into it for the first time. I think like 50 is like the max I would expect.
Yeah.
Like
I think it was just a mistake all around. I think it was like, if they weren't prepared to go full hog on it, they shouldn't have done it at all.
Yeah.
It does open the ability for them to make power-up sets for things like Mob, which would be cool.
Yeah.
But you know.
What would your picks be as the next English original set? I don't think it would happen personally, but I want Metal Gear Rising and Devil May Cry sets. Expect, and then do you think, what do you want the most?
What I want or what I expect?
Yeah. Trying to think based on reason.
What could they reasonably land, man? Scott Pilgrim would be cool. That's like, because that's like recent, right? Obviously, Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I think any of
Edge
those,
Runners would be really sick.
I think any of those things that are like, they were a lot more, not more, I don't want to say Edge Runners was more popular in the West. I think it was equivalently popular on both sides of the water. But Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Scott Pilgrim, like Invincible.
I think all
really cool.
Yeah, I think those are also not even like that unreasonable for the most part. Invincible
either.
I mean, they're Invincible's in Fortnite. Family Guy's in Fortnite. Everything's in Fortnite. If it's in Fortnite, anything's in
Fortnite.
But sorry for no, definitely don't apologize. We want more questions.
Yeah, we want more questions.
Literally, just say whatever you want and we'll answer it.
We have an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It is pitch black. It's raining.
We got nothing else to do.
We got nothing else to do.
My phone's on a charger off and on. It is surviving.
Yeah.
Adventure Time 2. I would like at least an Adventure Time premium booster. I don't own it, but
some stuff.
Definitely give it some stuff to fill it out.
Adventure Time could easily juice its way back up to
Oh
being
my gosh, yeah.
in the top tier again.
Give it a climax swap. Just get a Shioko climax swap. They can just play in anything. Would be nice. Disgaea Legacy would be cool. Bring it back, an OP. Kimono Michi for Yen. I'm trying to think of what else. I was going to say Edge Runners. You stole it. You said too many. What would also be really cool? I don't know. There's...
I'm still fucking floored Dengeki 30th is coming to English.
Yeah.
That is like... Okay, literally, I cannot believe that Oshinoko and Frieren are not announced for English yet. And if those don't come to English, like, seriously, I'm going to talk with my hands.
There you
all
go.
The way
Your hands over the screen. You're good.
If Frieren and Oshinoko do not come to English eventually, at some point, Bushiroad is fucking up. I don't think there's anything stopping, at least that I can think of off the top of my head, stopping either of those properties from coming overseas.
No. I think, Frieren was just announced JP I guess that was 2 streams ago now, because it just had one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was more recent. Oshinoko, on the other hand, was a stream before that.
And everybody,
there was the big dance thing.
There are content creators on the inside track with Bushi, and there are content creators on the outside track with Bushi. Pittsburgh White Shorts is not on the inside track, but, like, for there to be that much social media back and forth and all of the in-track content creators getting in on the Oshinoko thing, and it's still not announced for English, that was a fucking like, huh?
Yeah.
Like, what?
I really thought it was going to be one of those that they announced there because of that.
Oshinoko and Frieren were like, okay, let's be honest. Anybody in here watch a seasonal anime? Seasonal anime has been fucking rough lately, outside of a couple gems. Oshinoko and Frieren are those gems, and I think not capitalizing on them is like really, really stupid. They should definitely come to English.
We got Borderlands would be a cool IP to bring over. Borderlands is cool. You got really nice art too.
Borderlands
unique.
Throws its IP around. Gearbox,
Yeah.
They don't give a shit about anything.
I'll be mad if these don't come to EN. They will. There's no way they won't. I bought Frieren and JPTDs. I'm a newer player in my group. Oh, it's gone. It's all gone. I don't read the rest of it. For context, Kimono Michi is an anime about a princess tries summoning a demon from another world to slay beasts, and she gets a professional wrestler that's an animal lover instead. That sounds fun.
Oh, that show. Okay, yeah.
True Frieren. Yeah, okay. Seasonal right now. Haven't watched it. Waiting for the dub because I watched the first season dub because I only watch comedies dubbed first, and then I'll rewatch them later if I really like them, like Konosuba. But Girlfriend
Oh my god.
would be an amazing set.
Girlfriend.
Each girlfriend would be their own color, and then the guy is colorless. You play him in
What?
anything. It'd be awesome.
No.
Yeah, it'd be so good.
100 girlfriends.
No, too many girlfriends.
No,
too many
never
girlfriends.
too many girlfriends. 100 girlfriends.
That's like unlimited girlfriends, but
100
no girlfriends.
girlfriends is really fun.
Frieren JP bought 4 TDs to help a younger player get into JP format that is new to my group. That's awesome.
The Frieren TD
Yeah.
fucking slaps. That's
Yes.
like a real fucking deck. The Frieren TD was sick. Jason was talking about that. It's like, I just want to play the Frieren TD.
Yeah.
The Frieren TD
Oh.
is real.
Okay, no, stop. No, I don't want Dress Up Darling to come to English. I don't want to spend money.
Didn't that go to Osaka?
It was in Osaka.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that actually means anything, to be honest, nowadays.
No.
But yeah, no, I don't Dress Up Darling, Nagatoro, V Shoujo, never come to Weiss. I would like a bank account. I would like to have money. Those would be day one maxes. Sadly, I spent enough on Hololive. I don't want to spend more. I'm building the same deck as mine so I can walk through. Yeah, definitely. I think having a TD that is that functional and that
It's like a level 1,
good,
a level 3, a climax swap, or just like
and to have that,
barely even need 2 TDs. You only need 2 because they'll stiff you on counts.
yeah. And then the fact that you can do that with and good way to learn with somebody playing the same deck with each other.
Yeah.
Especially since it's a product of that price line is super convenient too.
Yeah.
It makes it
Especially
nice.
after conversion.
Oh,
you
yeah.
Find a lot of them.
Free runs like Deep 4 DJ, solid TDs, and you know what the set is fun to play. I like the Mushoku TD for that reason too. I think Gen 3 Hololive TD was absurd.
Oh yeah,
like
the
Rushia.
The Rushia Hololive TD was fucking nutty.
There's been some really good TDs. I think the Spy Family TD is way better than I thought.
Family TD is really good.
Has an actual legitimate finisher that's fine. Like burn 3s are
yeah, it's just burn 3
That's all-
killer off a bar.
yeah.
So you can get your climax.
Yeah, Spider Isekai and Skeleton 19 says, okay, that reminds me. I just saw Bone or Skeleton. It reminded me of Bone. I think that, well, for one, we need Tanya and Shield Hero, but having an Isekai quartet when you have half of it already. I don't want Shield Hero. I do want Tanya, but I just think an Isekai quartet
Tanya
would
was
be
in
cool.
Chaos, Shield Hero.
Wasn't that?
Shield Hero ever even in anything?
I thought it was. I thought I saw something about it,
I don't know.
but.
Not being able to have your Isekai quartet set is pretty bad, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you have half of it, just finish it. Rushia Mume has seen some increased play in JP recently. Suicide Squad Isekai English original. That actually, I watched that trailer yesterday.
Yeah.
It looked
Suicide
pretty
Squad is
interesting.
great.
I'm hopeful. The art's beautiful. It's animated really well. I'm holding out, hoping it's good. It's unique. I like the fact that it's not just the same kind of thing
Yeah.
that they've tried 4 times. Let's see. You think Ruscio would be banned? Ruscio's not really a problem. Ruscio's fine. I mean, the deck, like, it doesn't really do, like, it doesn't have, it's not a finisher. As much as Solved
It's
Hololive.
it's only a finisher. Okay. I don't want to sound dismissive or whatever on this one. Ruscia is really it's a Swiss Stomper deck.
Yeah.
It was better than a Swiss Stomper deck for a very narrow period of time before people were very hooked on Kanata and while people were still playing a lot of Mushoku 8 standby, where you could, like, choice pants, you could, like, just get around Mushoku enough to sculpture Ruscia board and then actually just kick the shit out of them the rest of the game. And then against everybody who isn't ready for Ruscia, you just get the free shuffle back on them. It was very good for a very narrow period of time, and Ruscia remains good when people are not playing around her shuffle back correctly.
Sorry, that was a joke about the Hololive being so good. But yeah, no, I mean the deck, Ruscia is a cool card. Ruscia is a good helpful deck for new players. Yeah, I think it's a fine deck to start on. I mean, I basically did. That was my first competitive deck.
Real deck. Yeah.
It was consistent, easy to pilot. Definitely let me play Hololive, and that's all I wanted to do. It's like half of it's finished for my maxing of it, and then I just wanted to give up.
Very laser-focused strategy too.
Yeah.
Like, you resolve the thing, you do the thing, you get resources to keep doing the thing.
Yeah. I liked it. I felt sad with any change counter, but you know, what doesn't? Yotsuba 8 bars underrated. I think Yotsuba is good. The issue is the fact that Ichika and Itsuki are just so better, and Nino is also there. Like you're in a set.
Nothing wrong with the Yotsuba deck at all. It's like got its memory niche. The deck is like completely functional and like actually very good.
Yeah.
It's just that if I wanted to play a pure 1K1 deck in Quince, I would play Itsuki. If I wanted to play a deck that was well-rounded into decks that are playing for board in the mid-game, which, you know, in the previous English meta with Alice and like Slime, I would play
If you want to play,
yeah, and if I wanted to play standby, you know, you have Nino, and Nino's always been good.
Yeah. It's the fact that
it still is good. That deck's still good. I mean, the one in Mexico when we played California player with them. One in Mexico with Nino, so.
Yeah, I think
obviously Nino's still fucking good.
I think it's the Hololive effect.
Yeah.
You have too many good cards that decks just kind of don't see play because the other decks are just so good. I do think Yotsuba's a good deck. I really enjoyed. I played it. I played it in our Quince Cup.
Quince Cup, yeah.
And just because Tyler was playing Nino, I think Brian was playing Itsuki or Ichika, whichever one, and I wanted to just play that one. The only Miku waifu deck I have is 2 Soul, 2 Bar, and Project Diva.
PDX.
The fact that that's not playable with Sakai made me sad because I was going to buy that because of that, just in case something randomly popped up. But I don't know. If I want to play Miku waifu, I'll just play 8 Pants Sakai, play your just Maguro into Mocha that's on a Fumio. I think it's I feel really bad that card. I talked myself out of buying a playset of the Miku SSPs from Sakai, the blue ones, and they were like $350, and now they're sold out at $1,500, asking like Bouquet to buy them from you, and I'm just like, I'm so sad right now. Compression is a lie. I trigger all my bars with 8+ memory and cancel nothing. Yep.
Sounds like White Schwartz. See, the thing about compression is, right, you can say you're 8 and 20, but what does that mean? All it means is that the top 12 cards of your deck are clean.
Yeah.
Like that's literally all it means.
But I love. I've not been super happy with the new things because the triggers are not correct. Why are they bags? Please just make them bars. Why are there doors? Please just.
So depressing to see.
Don't be doors, just be standbys. Make 8 standby even better. It's already really good. Project Diva's Hatsune Miku. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Project Kai, the Hatsune Miku rhythm game. They have an 8 Pants deck if you wanted to play it with both Mikus. But Sakai's been. They have some things. They have a sack character climax swap, both from field and deck, 2 separate cards. Very excited for that. I'm pumped that Night Court has just a generic self-tap salvage brainstormer, because I had to play the search because you need traits for some of the cards that I played. I still think 8 bar is going to be the best thing. They just keep giving absurd memory cards to that set. So like turbo memory compression is just going to be the play, I think. Also, please reprint that promos. I would love to have the more jump 3-2 early play. The card's so stupid. Need more things like that for sure. Let's see. Any other questions? We got an hour and 13 minutes to answer anything you like.
Anything. Doesn't even have to be about White Schwartz. About anything.
Do you guys have any max rarity decks?
Yes, I have max rarity bar choice summer pockets, as well as a bunch of other summer pockets foils to make also 8-door max rarity summer pockets. And then I also have max rarity English Kaguya, which I was able to play at one tournament before it was unceremoniously banned for no reason.
I am only missing my Buceratis. Then I'll have max rarity JoJo, Wind Pants. They don't exist. I've tried to buy them for 2 years now.
Yeah,
they're nowhere.
You're in a Paru Darkness oversized situation.
So if you know where they are, let me know, because I don't. And then I was trying to max Ruchi at first.
You're close.
I'm missing the Corones and the Marine TDSP, which I know Tyler has. I don't want to buy it. I don't play the deck anymore.
He tried to sell it to me too.
Well, he tried to sell it to me for dirt cheap, and it's just like I don't play the deck anymore.
He tried to fucking juice me.
What do you mean? Literally like last week.
Oh, okay.
He was like, all right, 190. I'm like, no, I don't want it. And then he was like 150. I'm like, no, it's gone. Favorite anime opening? Bloody Stream.
Bloody Stream's pretty good.
I love that song.
Favorite anime opening? Fuck.
There's a lot of
Is
good
it
ones.
Actually just Tank? Am I a basic
Tank slaps.
It might be Tank. Tank is like, I don't know. I have a pretty deep music background. Tank is Tank slaps.
The horns go hard.
Yeah,
Love the horns.
I mean, like it's easy to have like recency bias.
Yeah. Your boy Kong Ming.
Your boy Kong Ming slaps.
That thing goes hard.
I was actually so surprised your boy Kong Ming didn't come to Weiss, dude.
That would be
Your
sick.
boy Kong Ming, like, that show fucking slapped.
Oh, yeah.
Your boy Kong Ming to Weiss, dude. I know Paru was trying to make a custom set for that. But
The Rumbling from AOT, I love that song.
Rumbling.
Super hype. AOT just in general has...
Yeah, AOT.
My War is my favorite AOT opening. Favorite waifu.
Favorite waifu?
It's anime specific.
My OG waifu is like Rin Tosaka. I love me my tsunderes.
That's hard. I don't watch.
I also really like Hanakawa from Monogatari. It's like Rin Tosaka and Hanakawa.
Let's see.
Real up there for me.
I'm struggling. That's hard. I'll go with. That's hard. I don't know.
Damn, Tanner can't answer waifu.
No, not. I don't really.
You can just say mouse, dude.
Well, yeah. If it counts VTubers, then it's mouse.
Yeah, you can just say mouse.
I'm a mouse like month tour.
Yeah.
I started.
Tanner's been on the mouse train literally since she started streaming.
20. Well, no, not since she started streaming on Twitch. So 2019, mid 2019, somewhere in 2019. Long time. My War is great. I'm obsessed with the band Sim Slaps. Mikasa Mikoto was my OG. They did Under the Tree and Rumbling. Spice. This is completely anecdotal, but feels like a big chunk of the Weiss community is super clicky. Obviously, you're not in that. I mean, that's every group, unfortunately.
Really
Yeah. A lot of large.
I think it's a big part of it is it's really fragmented, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we have our scene in Pittsburgh, right? And like in terms of who we branch out towards for like local stuff, right? It's like we didn't learn about the Paul's Gamer Zone group, like which was 2 hours away from us.
Yeah.
Until like relatively, and we didn't know they existed, and they had a 10 like locals, like the same size locals as us, firing every single week. We had no fucking idea they were existed. It's hard to. The Weiss scene is really fragmented because the game is small, so you get weird clicky stuff happening. But still, I mean, like Nats, like the vibes at Nats are impeccable.
Yeah.
Like literally, the biggest reason to go to Nats is not to like compete because the prizing is like there used to only be prizing if you won. Now there's prizing for if you get top first and second, which is literally a 100% increase in pricing.
Yeah.
To Nats, you went to Nats because all the people that run it are great people. I would hot seat, especially Luke. Love Luke. And everybody who goes is a homie.
Yeah.
Like you're there to go see the homies. Like the Ileana group, like they always come out super strong. You know, I gotta have a group from Virginia, like that we like coordinate with when we can because they're not too far from us and stuff like that. So I think it's like people come together. What I will say is that some of the groups out of California are actually hyper clicky, and I have heard that, and that sucks.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, like in terms of like greater Weiss community, I don't think it's too bad. I think it's just a small game and the game's very fractured. But like again, like we came to Nats and everybody's a homie, everybody's having a great time. You can dab up, you can like hit up anybody for games just to talk. And you know most of these people first name basis.
Yeah.
You've been playing the game for a while, so it's more about just jumping in. But it's mostly just like that. Outside of Cali, I know I've heard a lot of bad stuff about, like, because Cali has so many stores and so many places in California like take the game very seriously. The game has fractured a lot there, but I also don't have any immediate frame of reference for California, so I might just be talking about my ass. But that is what I've heard from people who have come out of California and stuff like that.
That was
the California scene is clicky.
That was from Brown Weiss, that original statement, and then they said, "I'm in Cali. My locals are bad. Like I can't go to it anymore because of it."
Really? Man, that sucks. Like I know I've heard a lot of bad things about how clicky the California scene is.
Yeah.
And I would hope that some of the, like, I don't know, I know Hodges is based in California, but I know he's not doing a lot with Weiss right now.
Yeah.
He kind of dips in and out. That's the kind of person you need to pull the people together. I mean, like Tresses too, they're based in California. I know that like Hanson and Tom's scene is apparently super sick. Like, but that's NorCal. That's the LGS that's also like an art shop. I don't know. That place is sick. I can't remember the name. Tom and Hanson's local sounds super sick. Yeah. Every time I talk about it. I know, and I know Tom raves about his locals being awesome. Yeah. So maybe it's a SoCal thing. I know that some of the California locals I've heard have been very cliquey, and that's very, very unfortunate. But again, coming from Nats, I can't say it's like that over here. Nats was like a big family gathering.
Yeah. Let's see. We have
whiskey for my man.
You guys are like 4 hours from me. Yeah, I mean, I know we have occasional like weekend events. We post those on the Discord when those are coming out.
Yeah, we haven't
had one for a while
because like the one time we could have one, it was like we have to run WGP regionals.
Yeah.
So that kind of took the place.
Those will, whenever they happen, we try to post them with enough heads up.
Yeah,
for people to come down.
We're good about hosting people over the weekend.
Yep. So always happy to have more people come out and get to meet some people. We now have Columbus peeps coming in more frequently as well. This is Lindsay. As I built up the Gamer Zone group over the 2 years, it was a struggle, but we love everyone. It's
always hard getting off the ground, yeah. Especially with Weiss, I feel like it's so hard for Weiss on the uptake. Like you gotta find people who are in it for the anime. There are people who are in it for the anime side, but to really keep people around, they also have to like the mechanics enough to like be experimenting on their own with stuff that they want to fuck with, and it's hard to find people who can stay in long enough to get hooked.
I wish my scene was bigger. I run locals in Wisconsin. I mean, it's again similar to what we just were talking about there. The game's tough to introduce people to, especially if they come from some other card games. I think coming from Magic is actually harder than coming from no card game experience, because of the fact that your evaluations are like, your lines are very different. The way the game plays is very different. Your mechanics are completely different. It's like, it's hard to kind of convert. I came from originally Yu-Gi-Oh! And then into Magic, then Weiss. So it's like,
yeah, you got to understand. Tanner just showed up to our lobes like, I hear there's a HoloLive card game, and we're like, it is time to corrupt this young man.
I walked into Four Horse for like a Magic F&M, and then Andy was working, and I'm like, and I was talking to Eric, who's the owner, and he was like, I was like, hey, are you guys getting the HoloLive set for Weiss? I don't really know anything about the game. I just want to buy a bunch of product and open it and have a bunch of cards. And he's like, I don't, but our one employee, because Andy was working at Forest at the time, was like, our one employee, Andy, like, is really big in the scene. And I'm like, all right, cool. Granted, again, I had no idea what the game even was called. So I just like, hey, Weiss? Like, is that the HoloLive thing? It's like, are you guys getting it? He's like, no, but, like, we play at the time it was Heroes on Tuesdays.
Recipes Heroes.
Heroes on Tuesdays and Top Deck on Wednesdays, or vice versa. But it was like, yeah, we play here, there, and there. I'm like, all right, well, like, then the same night I drove down to Top Deck, bought some TDs, and was like, okay, well, I'm playing JoJo TDs. So I don't know what the heck I'm doing. So yeah, definitely hard, and like I watched a ton of 3-6 cancel. That's how I learned the game, and I didn't pay attention apparently during the encore step because Brian knows this because he was my first game. I always harass him. I paid 1 to encore my time machine level 1 zipper man, and he's like, no. I'm like, oh, I messed that video up really bad apparently, but like it was fun. Definitely hard to adapt.
It is really hard to build a scene. Like I know it's like people asking like global all the time, and some of like our community's like longest standing tournament organizers and like community members like Audrey are in there like giving all the advice they can, and it's so hard to build a scene. You really have to you got to come at 2 angles. You got to have the anime side and you got to have the card game side. And you can have players that are independently into one or the other, but you have to have some core dedicated people that are enough into both to like keep the wheel going. Because if you're just into the anime, then the game part like starts to break down because not all sets in Weiss are created equal. Yeah. And people start getting frustrated. And then if you have people who are only into one side, then things start getting dismissive in the other thing, or only in the competitive side. Like you gotta have a mix.
Yeah. Lindsay said,
and you're talking about locals. If you're talking about something that's like good enough for locals, like anything is good enough for locals. It has to. You gotta have 3 brainstormers, a level 1 combo, and a level 3 combo, and you're off to and like a game plan, and you're off to the fucking races. It doesn't have to be good. It can be functional, and you'll do great at locals.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you know. It's
White Schwartz. Like at a local level, the deck has to be minimum functional, and you'll be totally fine. Yeah. You'll have a great time, and you won't feel like you're frustrated or like choked out unless there's something truly egregious around, like Alice. Like it has to be Alice level. Like Alice is fucking huge.
Lindsay said my group will come if it's one of the weekends. Yeah, we'll keep again in the Discord in the events. I think it's called events. We try to post it as soon as we have one scheduled to let everybody know. You know, we'll be good and we'll let it go. Link says, oh god, hold on. I play down in Ephrata group. I might be saying that wrong. My apologies. I am not smart. Group when I can, and we've been having about 11 people average, which has been great. Yeah, I mean, keeping a 4-rounder's what we try to do.
Yeah, 4-rounder is ideal. If you have a consistently 4-round locals, or at least like every other week 4-round locals, you're seen as very healthy from a White Sports standard on the East Coast. Do not compare yourself to California. Do not compare yourself to, like, I know Toronto is very like Toronto can get really big. Calgary, like, do not compare yourself to Toronto, Calgary, or California in terms of North America Weiss. They are outliers. Yeah. Like Calgary, especially. Calgary's in the middle of fucking nowhere, Alberta, and they get fucking 30 bazillion players, and that stands to, you know, Plat, Tim, all them with blah Weiss and Kevin up there, like keeping that scene fucking cranky. Yeah, because that's like insane. That Calgary's like a hotbed to me, but like I don't know a lot about Canada geography, so maybe it's a little bit not as ridiculous as I think. But like I don't know, the way Kevin talks about Calgary, it's like it's fucking cold and it's in the middle of nowhere.
Sounds like,
but.
I think most of our players are Yu-Gi-Oh! Or base Yu-Gi-Oh! Players, myself included. I think that's a game where it has besides Pokemon,
Pokemon's the closest.
Like it's your deck flow, like going into your deck constantly, searching out certain things. I think that's kind of a thing that you do there that not a lot of other games do. Lindsay, I actually had to start slowing down playing Flesh and Blood because it was interfering with my Weiss thought process. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's hard. Like
the Western style games are super converse to how you play Weiss.
Yeah, and like I had to over the last like 2 weeks kind of like switch to Weiss brain and out of One Piece brain because I've been like grinding trying to figure out what the heck to do for Nats for that. And I'm like, well, I gotta switch to this Nats. Okay, what am I doing? I'm just gonna play Zombieland. I don't have to think too much about what my opponent does, but I still wanted to like know for the most part like the basics of other sets and what they have. So just like digging through like lists to see this person has this counter, like I don't, this has anti-burn, like
the basics,
nothing crazy, but yeah. I have tournaments even at my house and in the basement, just like in my basement is turned into a mini play area just to teach new people who want to compete and get the game going.
Who is this?
That was Lindsay.
Oh, that was Lindsay.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta. It's like it's what you gotta do. It's like the game is. I think Weiss, there does have to be a lot of self-starting going on with Weiss. You can't. I don't think with Weiss specifically, it's possible to truly guide in a bunch of people of your own volition. And I think if you get it in your head that you need to do that, you'll probably burn yourself out, and that sucks. We don't want to see anybody burn themselves up. I do think with Weiss, there needs to be like a certain amount of self-starting in the people you get around it, where like you teach them how to play, and then they come back the next week with like some sort of brew or something they did themselves, and that's a player that's going to be around forever. Yeah. Like, they got to get hooked and then get after it to a certain amount themselves. Weiss isn't a game like, I feel like with Magic and Pokemon, because of how the games work, you could actually string people along into like a play group that stays together. Mm-hmm. Like, where it's just like, oh, we play Commander and we have snacks and pizza, and like Commander's like very low stakes and people just do whatever they want, and like people keep showing up. Or we draft on XYZ nights, and you come up and you draft, and we'll have pizza and we'll have a good time, almost like a D&D group type deal. And like Pokemon, it's like, oh, show up, we'll do mutant drafts, and they'll just like whatever, and Pokemon costs no fucking money.
You'll do GLC, your deck's $20.
GLC, or you $40 singleton deck, like, or even real Pokemon costs no fucking money.
Yeah.
Pokemon's fucking insane. Pokemon's the closest game to Weiss. But Pokemon has the competitive Pokemon experience fucking sucks. Like, I went to my first Pokemon Regional in Pittsburgh. It was an awesome experience. I love, there's like the 4-horse group of Pokemon guys. They're all fucking awesome. Like, all the guys I met through Zach, they're all sick. They're basically who I was there with, that and Jason's group, and from New Jersey, and Jason's group of Pokemon players, who I also love. They were sick. Mm-hmm. The thing I didn't like about Pokemon has this unique problem of, it's very similar to Weiss. There's a lot of variants, like any card game, but it is best of 3. However, Pokemon players are so goddamn scummy, man. It's so bad. Like, the time scumming alone when a slower deck like Gardevoir is in the meta, where people, like, they win game 1, and then they start, like, in Pokemon, you can do a lot of valid but useless game actions that make it impossible for you to be called slow play on, but you can literally play the clock in Pokemon and just scum games, and it's just very bad, to the point where that was my first regional for Pokemon, and I had many players shake my hand after the game and thank me for playing above board. And every single one of them I asked, is this like a normal thing where it's so rare for you to have an above board game experience that you are thanking me? And they're like, unfortunately, it has been getting worse as the game got bigger. Yeah. So like, Pokemon needs to do something to curb that. Maybe that's just big card games, and I'm used to my comfy small community that I love, like Weiss. Yeah. So maybe that's just a big card game, small card games thing.
Yeah. I mean, I would say probably. I mean, had similar experiences in Yu-Gi-Oh in the past. Same thing, best of 3, you do that.
Yeah.
One Piece, there's yellow decks that I know people play intentionally, with no intention of winning the game, but with the intention of putting you on 0 life and then healing 1 at the very end, and then just dragging it out as slow as possible and trying to survive without trying to win legitimately. Like, I think it's just a lot of card games have the ability to have that issue. I think Weiss as a game is just, it's harder to do that.
I hate Weiss turns, but
Yeah.
I don't know. If I had it my way, English would also be double loss.
Yeah.
Because I think double loss means that literally no one in the room is incentivized to play slowly. Like, no one is incentivized to be scummy in a double loss environment. Everybody wants everyone to finish the game.
Yeah. I think the issue comes down to the fact that, unlike most other regionals, it is a free event. It is encouraged for new players. Yeah. And when a new player comes,
turns are
they
probably
don't know
a necessary evil.
Yeah,
they're not too bad. They are abusable, but when it is, I think it's pretty easy to judge call in Weiss when people are trying to abuse it.
Yeah,
and it's rare. I don't think the Weiss community in general is a community of abusers and angle shooters.
Yeah.
All my experiences competitively in Weiss have been very positive in terms of player conduct.
Yeah, for the most part. Definitely have had issues.
Yeah, there have been issues, but we've talked about this.
Yep. I've had good success at getting people to play the game, but not getting them interested enough to show up to locals. Players are getting bored of playing one deck they're interested in. I think they don't want to pick up a bunch of different sets. They're happy with their $30 AOT deck or whatever it is. I think that's a big thing. Like, I think getting that kind of, having someone borrow a deck of a set they're interested in, and then getting a place. I think this is a game where play sets are crucial.
Yeah, like
for
two
experiences.
Of our, John was a very religious player until One Piece, caught him.
Final Fantasy.
Fantasy too, but still, I think John and Brittany are 2 of our biggest local success stories, where they were like, this game is cool, this game is fun, and they both asked, what's the best way to do it? And we said, Slime is a new great set that's coming out, buy a play set.
Mm-hmm.
And they both went out and bought a play set, and Brittany is one of our most reliable locals.
Yep.
And John was a super reliable local until he got hooked on One Piece.
Also
and
married.
Got married, got busy, a bunch of other shit. Became a top player in Super Turbo.
Yeah.
Well, always was a good player in Super Turbo, and then started getting a ton of results in Super Turbo.
Yeah.
Getting busy, so. But yeah, play it, and that sucks. It sucks because the playset is the best way to get into it.
Yep.
But a playset is a $300 upfront cost.
Yeah.
And it depends. If you're a card gamer,
yeah,
a $300 upfront cost doesn't sound too bad. If you are a run-of-the-mode anime fan getting into your first CCG, $300 sounds like a lot.
Well, because that was the big thing when I was starting. It was I had these TDs and nothing else. I didn't buy any boxes even. And I'm just okay, this is I asked about 1 million sets. I was like, ooh, how's Nichijou? And everyone just looked at me and said, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How's Lucky Star? And they went, same thing. And I'm like, okay, JoJo's a thing I have a TD for, and I like the set. And okay, well, play sets you can buy on Facebook for $300. I don't know where they are now, but some sets are even cheaper. I know when Bunny Girl 2 is $100.
It comes down to not all sets are created equal.
Yeah.
I remember it being
Hololive.
I remember it being a big what to do when Batman Ninja was out, where we had a couple of people who were I'm really interested in playing Weiss, and I want to play Batman Ninja, and they buy the Batman Ninja stuff, and they're playing, and they're just well, I feel like I'm learning the game, and I feel like my deck isn't very good. How do I improve my deck? And I look at their trial deck, and I was just well, there's not many other better cards.
Yeah.
Or it's
I think
I think when a popular property is bad, is the worst fucking thing for the game. Yeah. Batman Ninja being a terrible set was absolutely horrific for the game. That sucks. Avatar having plenty of playable decks, but only one deck that does like one specific like turbo nut try to kill you thing.
Yeah.
That, you know, people might like Avatar, but what if they're a more control-minded card game player and the Katara Nexal deck isn't that great?
Yeah.
And the Toph deck is worse than the Hololive version of the same thing.
I mean, so same thing with the Katara. Like, just play Sora.
Yeah,
like,
just play Sora.
Unfortunately.
Like, yeah,
right?
it's like, now that sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks to see. That's part of the Hololive problem where Andy's right.
Yeah.
Where it sucks to see your new set that just came out do something so woefully worse than the poster child set that everyone has that costs nothing.
That's the granted benefit. Hololive play sets like $100. Hololive 2 play sets like 120. Like, it's at least cheap, and like TDs now, like you can buy TD play sets dirt cheap on Facebook and things. Like, for the most part, I know Gen Zero's kind of gotten a little crazy recently. Miko's went up a lot, but like, it is nice when most of, you know, you're able to build and like test a bunch of things. I like and I dislike that sets are self-contained. I like it from the fact that it lets your deck options not just be literally, you don't have to buy a like in Yu-Gi-Oh, you don't have to buy a common that was printed once 10 years ago and was unplayable garbage, and then all of a sudden you now need it for this new deck.
Yeah, you don't have that.
And you don't have it, and you have to pay $150 for it. I mean, you know, things like that aren't a problem, but also it does suck when your new set comes out that you're excited for, and they're just missing tools, or something does the exact same thing and better. I take my bulk and build new players' decks so that they don't have to buy stuff right away. Usually works to help new players. It's been I think, you know, being able to loan stuff. I know.
Yeah, we loan stuff like crazy. Like,
because
I'll give things people on long-term loan. Like I said with Chainsaw Man, I was talking about that today. It's like I literally bought it, played like some testing games with it. Was like, okay, it seems good. Was focused on English. Was grinding games with Slime. Loaned it out long-term to a local.
Mm-hmm.
Took a while to get it back because he was busy and stuff like that. Didn't get it back in my hands until 2 weeks before Nats. Sleeve up the Kishibe deck, and they go like, oh, this is actually fucking broken. I should just take this to Nats. I'd be stupid to not bring it. We just hand things to people, long-term loan, locals, whatever. Like, in the grand scheme of things, non-foil white short stuff is dirt.
Yeah.
It's not worth a lot.
Like, I was like, I watch Aaron play it in our regional qualifier, and then I watch Jason play it, and Carmen play Jason's Uma deck, and I'm like, well, this deck looks fun. You do a lot of cool things. You do a lot of things, period, which is fun, I think, when you're playing a deck at times. Other times I just go...
Like the most expensive double rare is $5.
Yeah, it's like the set... Yeah. It's like things like that are super convenient. It's been a while for him, but 3-6 Cancel was a regular with us, which was helpful to help learn certain rulings. It helped me get back into the game after a break to catch back up. Yeah, again.
You do need a... I think every scene needs a rules arbiter.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, when I joined, didn't have one, and it was a massive problem.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh, when I started playing, and like myself, Brian, Tyler, and Andy all pretty much started playing very, very... Andy was started a little bit before us because he was running stuff at Heroes. He was working there. But like when we started playing and started taking the game a little bit more seriously, like with the intent to travel, there were so many, I'll just call them kitchen table rules, that we had to get rid of, like rule misreading, because Vice is complicated.
Yeah.
Like rule misreading, things like that, like stuff, issues with siding, like basically rule misreadings or things that had kitchen table one player's games became rules and like shit like that. You need to have someone like that, like how 3-6 cancel was for you, like a rules arbiter, to be like, yep, that's how this works, we'll walk through it, we'll stop, like a community judge, right? You need a Weiss. I wish Weiss had a better fucking judge program, or like something, a way to have community judges, because like someone like Audrey, right, for the Ileana scene, she's their tournament organizer, she's their community figurehead, right, along with the people that help her, right? She doesn't have like a title. Like Audrey should be the Weiss equivalent of a Pokemon professor, right? But there's no equivalent for that for Weiss. However, I think it's one of the most necessary things for a local scene, because Weiss is real easy to get wrong and have things feel terrible, and people get frustrated and not want to come back.
Yeah.
Like, you got to have somebody who's up on the rules.
Yeah. These are a little older. I'm just catching up now. I had a bad experience with my first Pokemon regional back in X and Y format. The points grind is real. Some players basically, for some players, and that's what it comes down to. Yeah. That's another thing, is a system like that. I know a lot of
the qualification points.
Because I know it's like Tech and World Tour and like a couple like
I know
through
Zach's
that. It's
on
like
the points grind for Pokemon.
Yeah. So it sucks when a lot of cool sets in the game for new people and old sets like that are completely out of date or expensive. That's the other thing. Like I think it's the same thing with like we talked about earlier with the power up sets. Like when you introduce something like that, you need to reprint it. Like when Overlord came out, you reprinted Overlord 1. Like that was huge for getting people into the game that are excited about the new Overlord product. Things like that would be helpful. I don't know what the option would be. Maybe there's like a community poll of like, here's like 10 old sets that haven't been printed in like after like 5-6 years. Would you like to see one of these? Like vote here or something like that. I don't know. Just spitballing random stuff. But like,
yeah, it's hard to get that shit like back in circulation.
Yeah. Virginia has one that disqualifies Quinstax from waifu tournaments. That's not like that. The thing with waifu tournaments and events is like it's not.
I know that there's a lot of. I know there's even around us. I know Ileana does a big one. I know Virginia loves their waifu events and stuff like that. I personally don't like waifu format for a couple reasons. We used to have one in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was English only for a long time, which is a completely separate, really stupid discussion that we could have about that. I don't really feel like going down that memory lane right now. However, we used to be English only. We used to have a waifu day like every other week, and I got it canceled. I didn't get it canceled by like being a community figurehead and canceling it. I played 8-door Cosme Bang Dream in an English-only waifu format every week religiously to prove that not all characters in Weiss Schwarz are created equal.
Yeah.
And yes, I understand that's part of the fun. However, within a small local environment, and not just how, because Ileana does it as a big thing. It's a big thing. Everybody comes out from all over. That's fine. It is like a one specific event, right? But if you're doing it as like a weekly format, like most locals would be want to do, right? You can just create completely suffocating things because not all characters in Weiss Schwarz are created equal.
Yeah.
And it just creates a terrible, terrible environment. The Ileana waifu event, that stuff's awesome. They like come together. It's a big fucking thing. Audrey has her own very specific rule set, like to kind of equal things out and make things better for people. That's awesome. But like at a local level where people do a recurring waifu event, that shit can get toxic real fast.
Yeah.
Because it is really easy to make an extremely broken deck that is just better than everything else anyone's trying to do, and then you create an arms race.
Yeah.
And that's not good for anybody.
We love Kirito Husbando.
Yeah, Kirito Husbando. Literally, Emilia or
Yeah.
like Puck, which is literally just green ReZero, like a straight deck. Like you can make literal meta decks that are waifu decks, but they don't
Again,
concede anything.
same thing with Quince. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Well, Quince is the biggest defender ever.
and I think that's why it comes back to that. They have that type of community judge in Universe's My Hero. I passed the test since I started a play group at the Gamer Zone, but I had to stop playing frequently due to time. Yeah, I think it's good to have that kind of thing.
I really think Weiss needs like a tournament organizer or like Pokemon professor type role.
Yeah.
Because it's necessary.
And I know with One Piece, it's not officially required, but it's heavily encouraged that every store that runs events has someone on staff or someone who runs the events, even if they don't work for the store, be a level 1 judge, level two judge. I don't know which it is.
Something like
I'm
that,
whichever
yeah.
one it is, the lower one, like the entry judge. So that way they have some basis of it. It helps. Would a judge for Weiss be called Weiss Blake Ruby Jokes?
That'd be funny.
Levi Husbando rocks. Shout out to Brittany. Not that Brittany said
Yeah.
that was Lizzie, but that's a Brittany deck. Other Brittany.
Yeah, we have 2 Britneys.
Not Slime Brittany. Not Brittany that was opening the cracked slime boxes at Sheets. Peep the
Other
live
Brittany.
that you can go back to for the box opening at Sheets to see what I'm
I
referring
think we
to there.
still have Brittany's Levi squad like AOT deck on the channel,
Huh?
like in the deck text. Like you can reach back into the archives back when we did
Yeah.
physical camera deck text, which some of those videos are not great, but they are archived.
That was part of my initial starting to the channel. Yeah, we just do a Valentine's Day where they may ban a certain girl or guy to keep the meta not too crazy. They can ban and restrict certain cards in those decks. Yeah, I mean, side formats are fun. I know we tried a couple.
The only one we religiously continue to do is Christmas, because it's dumb as fuck. Like, the Christmas format is just restrictive enough to make people play funny things, but also not, like, I don't know. There's no fucking prize.
Yeah.
Like, it's just stupid. It's like red and green, you can play one colorless yellow card as your Christmas star.
Yeah. With the new exception that I pushed for last year,
Yes,
where if they're
if
wearing
they're
a
wearing
Santa
a Santa hat.
or a Christmas, the card is specifically says Christmas, like intentionally Christmas,
Yes,
that counts.
yeah, that counts. You
AKA
play it.
the Sakai Drop Searcher.
Yeah, you can
Or
play the
not Drop
the
Searcher,
Ricky.
the Ricky. I'm like, because that's
Yeah,
a
you play the
literal
Ricky.
Christmas
He
card.
literally is wearing a Santa hat.
Okay. That was my addition there. Apparently the One Piece judge test is pretty hard. So I took it set 1. Brian took it set 1. We had a couple other people take it. Brian and I talked about it because I was allowed to talk about it with him because he's already passed it. Ours I didn't think was too bad. There was a couple of tricky rulings here and there. I know from experience or from talking to some other locals that have been trying to get it that it's a lot harder. They can't say specifics because that's part of the thing. You can't talk about what's on the test or anything, but I know from how it sounds, they added a lot more mechanically challenging rulings, which they should as the game gets more and more complex. I watched the Levi deck build. 8-Wind Alice is the best waifu deck. I love 8-Wind Alex.
8-Wind Alice, yeah.
8-Wind
Alice slaps.
I put that thing together the moment I saw it was $20.
Yeah, $20 deck.
And I went gaming. I love it.
$20 anti-meta deck.
I am the orc mentioned in the Sheets unboxing. We appreciate you, Mark. Shout out to Orc Mark. We loved you. We love it. We miss you. Got to come back next time. I want to see the orcs with the new set. It was pre set 3. Is that the newest slime set?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, so no, we haven't seen set 3 slime orcs. So I don't think any game for me has been a harder judge test than Yu-Gi-Oh. The Yu-Gi-Oh judge, the fact that it's also 3 tests, because you have to have like floor rulings, mechanics, and then there was whatever was, I don't know. I took it like when I was a child, basically, like right when I turned 18, and failed it miserably. Quince needs a Futuro waifu deck. That'll be funny. Singleton is a really fun format that we've been trying. We were talking about that before, about Weiss Singleton. It's neat. The issue is, like, again, sets. Some sets won't really have the ability to be as functional as others. So we would have to be, like, again, limiting. Because, like, Hololive has literally 50 of the exact same profile under different names. Like, just your drop searcher.
Yeah.
So, like, things like that would obviously have to, like...
The 42 drop searcher deck.
Yeah, you'd have to make exceptions. Random, but have you guys fought against Shauna or King of Fighters or seen anyone playing it at Nats?
Yes, there was a top 16 player who played Shauna. I played quite a few games with them in practice games. Yeah, Shauna's really good until you have an out to their UG. And unfortunately, both Pat and Chainsaw Man play bouncers. And when Shauna does not have those tools, when Shauna can't present the anti-burn, Shauna starts to crumble no matter how you build it, because it's just worse at doing. If you strip everything away and they don't have the anti-burn online, whether it's 8-door or choice door Shauna, it's just worse than playing Ichika, because it's the same it's the same finisher. So I don't know, you need to be in a meta that's conducive to anti-burn, or just like be really lucky and have none of your opponents have bouncers.
Yeah.
Because you can't even just double field UG and say you're going to get the anti-burn, because stuff like the Himeno bouncer exists. Like completely gross double bounce on one card.
Yeah, and I just saw that. I assume people go double anti-board on board. Yeah, but again, double bouncers main decked in Chainsaw Man,
yeah,
which is one of the biggest threats that there were.
Decks right now. I mean, Shauna will always be lurking, right? It's the fact that deck is completely functional. Like, I just did a deck tech on Shauna. I think Choice Door is like a totally good deck, especially for locals. If you're just like, I hate getting blown up by all these ultra finishers, you take fucking Shauna to locals. Yeah. Just say burns for me, but not for thee.
And then King of Fighters, I saw 2 or 3.
KOF looks cool.
I didn't play into it or see someone. I didn't get to watch their games, but I did know that there were people on it at least. Kaguya has Christmas cards as well.
Yeah, Kaguya has Christmas cards.
Sets 1, 2, and 3 don't have a lot of much to work with for the orcs. I took the Dragon Ball Super test, and it easy if you play the game. Yeah, that's kind of how it felt with the One Piece set 1 test for me. I played against Shauna, got anti-burn on board, ended my life at that moment. Yeah.
If you don't have an out to it, anti-burn is really gross.
Yeah, it's...
When you get to sit behind it and they play like literally like 11 or 12 healers, and they just go like heal, 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 and then when they're finally ready to try to kill you, like they have a perfectly serviceable, pretty good finisher. It's really gross. The problem is, like, again, you don't get a chance to actually sit behind it in the current meta very much if you're playing against the meta. And stuff like that, even at the local level, it's like the Nexel arms race, right? If everybody's playing Nexel, it's the easiest thing in the world to counter.
Yeah.
If everybody's playing Shauna and anti-burn, it's not that hard to put in some bouncers. Like, and that's, in a way, Weiss Floodgates being like that is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bushi needs to make comeback sets the norm. I've been playing 8 Pants, King of Fighters. The deck feels pretty good, and the finisher and the My Stock Swap, or Stock Swap burner feels really solid.
Oh yeah, they did get a card like that. It's like the Thanos, right?
Yeah.
It's like a stock swap and an off finisher in one.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are cool.
So what is exactly this event that you guys went to? I don't know too much other than that it's JP.
It's national, so you have to be invited to go, or you have to go and qualify at Last Chance Qualifiers, which is the day before in Rochester. And then you play in it. It's very similar to a like English regional, except you play Japanese. So you have to have translations, and bunch of proceedings like that, and then if you get first or second place, you get a paid trip to Japan. And there's a bunch of other prizing and a bunch of other cool like freebies and stuff that you can get, specifically Japanese promos and like things like that that are
Very
otherwise fucking impossible to get. You can't get them without like just ordering them off Yuyite, basically. It's the only other fucking place to get them.
Yeah. And then the regional qualifiers have promos that you get also for trying out, and then you get more if you get one or two or first or second, which they didn't get them into late, so
instead of mailing them,
they handed them out to the player at the locals to distribute.
I'm gonna distribute them.
Yeah. Oh, did you see any DeCapo players? Not exactly sure what the list looks like now, but it seems like there's a lot of different lists. I know there was one that was in top 18. I don't know if they qualified.
The most recent set, didn't it push it back to who's her name? I'm pretty sure the most recent set had people trying to play Otome again, which is like this. I remember this card being so ridiculous. It's like that card was like, it's like this card that can come out early. It's like an 11k hexproof with cross turn burn on reverse. Really chunky. I mean, you laugh at it now at the current level of place, but like I remember back then it was fucking terrifying. I can't remember if people were trying to play Otome or not. I don't know. When it comes to DeCapo, I just still fucking crack out 8 choice with the fucking the Ramorous.
Yeah.
I just still play the Ramorous. That deck still fucking bangs. I still think that deck's fine.
Yeah.
I was talking about it with Nico, and I was like, do you think like DeCapo's like still fine? He's like, well, let's find out. And Nico's over in Japan. He fucking took 8 choice to a locals, and he fucking topped with it. So it's still fucking completely functional. You can't really stop memory from like working.
Yeah.
It's always good.
What tournament did he go to qualify these? Is there a site that details all this out? Yeah, it's
Heart of the Cards.
Yep. Heart of the Cards. If you look up Heart of the Cards Weiss, it'll pop up better. I know.
Yeah.
Based on your search history, I know for me it always pulled up like the Yu-Gi-Oh wiki. So if you look up like Heart of the Cards Weiss, that's also where you can get a lot of translations for cards are also posted out there. The official Bushiroad translations there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is where those are. How does Guilty Gear as a set look? What do you think the best versions of it are going to be? Really, really good so far. I think
something that includes the Ram.
The Ram finisher.
The Ram seems nutty.
I'm a believer. I think Faust is going to be it. I love Faust. It's so funny.
You would love Faust.
I genuinely don't think that, but I would be the player who would play Faust.
Ryan loves Faust too.
He's cool. Faust is so cool. So is Ryan.
I roll.
Faust is sick. He gives you the afro.
He does give you the afro. You're right.
Yeah, I think the Himari finisher is still good. Just dodge memory kicks. Yeah. I really like the Geo stuff that they put out there recently.
Oh yeah, the Geo stuff looks cool. Yeah.
There's just so much in that set that looks cool. I think that's one set that I might end up having to pick up that I didn't plan to, just because the set looks super interesting.
Mine from Ollie.
Yep.
Max and locked that in hella early. I was like, I don't even care if this set's bad.
Yeah.
Help the homie Max and get my cards.
But set looks very interesting, very fun, unique.
Yes.
Which is the biggest thing. Mechanically unique, English only is something that I'm hoping that they continue to do. Also, printing things that are strong and can compete that are English exclusives. I know, like Ruby when it first came out was very much a contender. Avatar,
despite not having a unique niche, is still doing well.
Yeah,
it's just Gurra-lite, but everybody in the EU or whatever can fight me on that one. It's literally Gurra-lite.
Yeah, I really like the level 3 Soul finisher in a standby base deck, and the Potemkins being huge. Yeah, again, literally, I have not been disappointed with their reveals for that set yet.
Yeah, there hasn't been a disappointing round yet.
Which is nice, because I was a little disappointed with May. I just want the Dolphins to be better.
Yeah.
That's the only, I guess, when I think back to it. Not that it's bad.
The card's fine, yeah.
It's fine, but like I was really wanting that to be like the level 1 like Obero.
Yeah.
I want it to be the Sakai Obero, like just a 9K Obero for no reason that pumps back, or like a plussing one. I just think that it's not quite. I hope they try to do more fighting game sets like King of Fighters and Guilty Gear, because it breaks into a bigger audience. Still hoping for Melty or Blaze Blue. Yeah, I would be very happy with a Tekken set. That's the only fighting game that I am not absolute garbage at. I'm still bad, but I'm not absolute trash. I can't play 2D fighters. I think fighting game sets would be really cool to continue to grow. I've been thinking about standby.
The IPs are more available than you think. I mean, if fucking what's it called? What's that game Brian always cracks out?
Oh, Exceed.
Yeah, like
Exceed's so good.
If Exceed can snatch up literally every license under the sun, with like
just got
no
Street
issue,
Fighter.
Literally, like Street Fighter, Street Fighter,
Melty Blood.
Guilty Gear, Melty Blood. What else? Fucking Blaze Blue. They have literally fucking everything in Exceed. And if a fucking random like tabletop game you've never fucking heard of can snatch up those licenses and make cards and have the fucking Exceed cards look sick.
They're so
because
nice.
they style them based on the UI of the game they come from.
Yeah.
Like, if Exceed can snap all that shit up, fucking Bushiroad can do it.
Yeah. I've been trying Standby Bar, or I've been thinking Standby Bar might be interesting, but Pants Combo is obviously also solid. Yeah, I mean, again, I think Ram...
the combo's really good.
Yeah. Things into Ram seem like the play, period. I think every card out of Guilty Gear will probably build everything I can. Yeah. I really wanted Bridget. I agree. May should have been a little better. I missed my Brisket.
Yeah, Brisket got left out.
I want to see a Killer Instinct set. Yeah, Killer Instinct would be cool. Exceed is a 1v1 card game.
You can
board
probably
game.
find archived footage of it being played.
Oh, I'm sure it's somewhere on one
rounds.
of our streams. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really sick.
Yeah, it's very fun. It's if you like fighting games and card games, it combines them in a way that I've not seen done well to that degree. It definitely, like, you have frame data in it.
Yeah, it's a card game based on... It is a card game where you play a fighting game where you literally play the rock, paper, scissors game of fighting games with cards. Yeah. And frame data is the...
Frame data,
like the numbers
for
behind
speed,
it.
Stunning, like there's stuns, like you build meters depending on the thing.
Like if you're if move has armor, and a certain move has power, if your power exceeds the guard, it goes through the move and then you get to take your turn.
Yeah.
Like, it's so cool. I remember because I only play the combo characters against Brian, and we'll have games where it'll be like, I literally just like, all right, Brian, it's my turn, and it's like card. Like, you get to like actually go off like you're playing Rushdown. It feels so cool.
Yeah, I love the game.
The game is super, super sick.
Yeah, sounds like UFS back in the day.
It's a little. It's. I'd say it's a little bit different than UFS. Because UFS is just. UFS is literally just MHA, right? MHA is UFS.
So yeah. It's. I would say it's closer to an actual fighting game than it is like a standard card game.
It's closer to a real fighting game. Yeah.
I really want. If they really want to make bank, a standalone High School DD set would be great.
Yeah, High School DxD is a. We were actually really close at one point to getting High School DxD. There was a teaser where one of the only anime properties that fit in the amount of Japanese characters that was there was High School DxD, and it ended up being something else. I don't know. It's in fucking Fujimi.
Yeah. Imagine a Tekken set where Hayachi and Kazuya keep sending each other to memory and keep coming back over and over again. That would be funny. I think just a Hayachi that dies every single turn. It just dies, and then it just comes from the ether. It never dies, but it always dies.
Yeah, it always dies, but it comes back.
That'd be cool. Maybe a 1-0 backup event that sends an opponent's climax to waiting room called Combo Breaker. Probably not a 1-0 event. Might be a little strong, but in general, I think that would be cool to have
information by
yeah.
2-0.
Yeah. Well, so just make it a 2-0. Make it literally the same thing.
But it's also an event.
Well, yeah, that's what it said.
You can't make that card searchable.
But that's what it said. It said backup
Yeah.
event.
Man, it really did just rain the entire fucking drive.
Oh, yeah. I'm not dying, I promise. I haven't taken my medicine today. It's 11 o'clock. That's why. How long are you driving for? 17 more minutes. It was a 4-hour drive. We waited a while, or more like 4:10. We waited a little bit because there was a dead zone.
Yeah,
we didn't want to do that, and we also were recovering.
Our service was really spotty on the way in, like with Rochester, so we just waited until we got past Buffalo.
Yeah. Do you feel like Weiss doesn't make as many cool sets like that anymore? Feels like Idols, etc.
I think recently they've been on the JP side.
Yeah.
They have there's too much. There's too much, dude. There's too much. Like, I get it. If you love the idol sets and stuff like that, that's great. But for everybody else, man, it is really fucking hard to take tuning into those reveal streams and seeing like Bang Dream 6th anniversary, Bang Dream again, Bang Dream Mygo, it's just trial decks, blah blah blah, this that, the other thing, Idol Master again,
Love Live,
whatever, the anniversary. And I get it, they're all different, and I get it, they all have fans, and I'm happy for the people that love those things, but like, can we get literally anything else, please?
Yeah.
Like, just for every one that we get, can we at least get one something else? Like, I'm just asking for parity.
Yeah.
Because there's no parity. It's idols all the time.
And even Idol adjacent,
Basically,
with like HoloLive getting a ton of Quints, I count as Idol adjacent in all honesty.
Yeah, Quints at this point is like an idol set.
Yeah, I get it. It's not raining in Cleveland, that we are now. That's nice. It's like it stopped. You said it. You saved us.
Yeah, it keeps like stopping and starting.
Yeah. Glad you guys made it safe. Not jinxing. Yeah, I mean, we're good. We know where we are now.
We're past Wexford. Nothing's happening now. The Wexford interchange is the last place that actual accidents happen. We're also not even driving that late, honestly. We're getting back
it's
in
11.
At 11:15. Yeah. Not bad.
No. But yeah, I think they've been at least there's been English-wise hasn't been nearly as bad.
Yeah, English-wise has been fine. Although they did announce, didn't they announce like the Mygo and the
Mygo was just announced.
The anniversary is all reprints. I'm down for that. I like that in English. Those cards need reprinted. The Mygo stuff is weird to me. It's like only TDs. Like, just make another fucking set. Like, is it Neo Standard? Is it not? Who knows? Bushiroad's endless branding, like death cycle.
Yeah. D4DJ also. Yeah, D4DJ was another one that just came out recently that had a bunch of TDs. I know that much because I know Mike was playing that one.
Mike has all the D4DJ stuff.
Yeah.
And again, like, if you like that stuff, that's great. It's just like, it sucks to tune into the reveal streams when you're not super into that stuff and be like 6 of the 10 reveals are idle stuff. Or more like 6 of the 8 reveals are idle
Yeah,
stuff.
that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
Thinking of just randomly, just popped my head, another set. I think a new ReZero set would be cool too. I think they have a lot of
ReZero's
stuff.
been fucking waiting for.
Yeah.
Well, fucking season 2 went to Rebirth. Rebirth is where every cool White Sports property goes to die, dude. I was so surprised when Leica Reco even came to Weiss after going to literally every other game. Osaka, Rebirth. Do you know what fucking banger properties have technically gone to Rebirth?
Yeah.
Like, okay. Eminence and Shadow. I know a lot of people. Eminence and Shadow went to Rebirth. Fucking Higurashi Go went to Rebirth, which was ridiculous. Genshin Impact at one point went to Rebirth. Like, Konosuba spin-off went to Rebirth. Like, the thing with Rebirth is that Rebirth is like this game that, as far as I can tell, no one fucking plays on either side of the water, and literally does nothing but steal good titles from Weiss, or even from fucking Vanguard collaborations.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the game kept on fucking life support by Kaiji. Kaiji went to fucking Rebirth for no reason. Like,
Blue Lock and Blau.
Blue Lock.
Blue Lock and Blau.
Okay,
Blue Archive.
Blau is
Blue
like
Archive.
Blue Archive.
That one's huge.
Blue Archive going to Rebirth is ridiculous to me.
Yeah. We need a Godzilla -1 set. We need Godzilla to come to English with -1 added in, and then give Japan a -1 premium booster. I want Godzilla. Godzilla is so cool. Aside from Guilty Gear, I'm planning to build Spy Family, Chainsaw Man, and Bocchi the Rock.
Bocchi's coming to English, right?
Yeah. That was already confirmed, yeah. I bought some. I bought Blue Lockers and Blau. I bought some this weekend at WGP.
I understand Blau's like market. What
Reading
Blau
my
is
Simple
trying
Easy
to
deck.
do.
Oh,
The thing that I don't like about Rebirth is that Rebirth doesn't target a specific market like Blau. It just steals titles that would be great in Weiss away from Weiss.
ReZero Season 2's and
Yeah,
Rebirth.
Reason
was also
that's
just
what
there.
that was.
Yeah.
It literally just steals things away from Weiss, and that's all it does.
Yeah.
Because it literally just spins in perpetual nothingness, where it does nothing, no one cares, barely anyone plays it, and it just spins forever. When all those properties could have just been in Weiss.
Rebirth high rarity is solid if you're able to pull. Yeah, well, someone just pulled the Louis from Hololive when they were doing it. It's like there's
Somebody just at Nats,
Let's
pulled,
talk about Nats.
pulled
There's
the
another
the Mega Man and Union partner worth
Someone-
like $700.
so there was 3 partners that were pulled that were like the max ones that were pulled. Then it's like the fact that they have like
Insane rarity bombs.
insane rarities that look
Which are
beautiful.
They look sick, and they're the only reason anyone opens the fucking product, and nobody plays the fucking game.
Yeah, and that's why they're so expensive because people only
nobody
dive for
fucking
those.
playing it.
But it's collection property. I'll be honest. In JP, I'm kind of interested in Albunta, but the second set really burned me for a playable. I forgot that was coming. The new set was coming for playability.
Oh yeah, Wally Mai.
It's just copium for season 3 to be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eminence and Shadow and Rebirth should be in Weiss. Noah was the one who pulled the
Noah
$700.
pulled the $700, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was a really pretty card.
Let's see. I pulled the Union Premium Partner and the Takina and Lycoreka.
Yeah.
Again, I think the set's super sick.
Yeah, like the art on
For
them is
art
really
and
good
for
because
just
like of
collecting.
how the cards are framed for like collectors. But like,
In 2 miles,
I'm gonna be
take exit
honest,
63,
they don't look any better than Weiss OFRs do.
Yeah.
Even if you take all the text out, or SSPs.
Well, like
They could
Sakai.
have easily just been Weiss sets, and you would have still had the same collector
Yeah, you
like angle. They just steal sets from Weiss.
Yeah, you could do like the Sakai, like the VR visual rares, where they're literally vanilla, like pictures, but they're like foil in alt art and beautiful, and you just don't have the text on the card. Like you can just print those in other sets.
Yeah,
Like
you can.
it's not hard.
Nothing's stopping you.
You have to. The only thing I don't like is the official Bushiroad ruling, where you have to have a physical copy of the base rare card to show your opponent. JoJo Part 3 should be in English, like Part 5 is. Yeah, I mean, the JoJo Premium 3 and 6, would love them in English. I said if they come to English, I would buy the foil play sets of each. I love JoJo. I'm actually interested in playing. You know, I want to play Made in Heaven because I think the Time Warp's super sick. But I think it's bad news when the promo said not to be distributed outside of Japan.
Yeah, that's pretty bad news.
So I don't
Bad
expect
news
it.
bears.
I don't expect it to come to English.
Pennsylvania 60 north toward Moon Run.
So I'm going to be sad and never expect it to come. Yeah, no doxing since we're actually getting close to Pittsburgh now. But yeah, I'm very sad about that. But I save money. It's a win-win.
Yeah, in a way.
I don't have to buy it. But I do want to play. I might actually just buy. I might proxy it, and if I really enjoy it enough, buy it in JP.
It's on the sim, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you want to fuck around with it.
because it is cool. There's a lot of neat stuff in it.
We should probably wrap up, actually.
Yeah, it is.
Getting,
We are getting
we are-
close.
We are literally like 5 minutes away. So
All right. Well, folks.
thanks for chilling with us. We've chilled for fucking like 3 straight hours.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Had a good time. Have a good night.
Have a
Still
good one,
traveling,
everybody.
Drive safe.
Drive safe to those still on the road.